Kick it. Так, ну продолжим. Так, сейчас. Ну и где изображение? А вот. Блин, странно, что... Почему Брукенсворд? Почему сломанный меч? Как? Почему? Почему оно не переведено? В чем подвох? Так. Шандельвер, Тверюжари, полицейский участок, музей Крун. Не сюда вроде как. А я почему-то подумал, что сейчас вечер должен быть. Ну ладно.
Attention! Please do not open the window, monsieur.
Don't you think it's kind of stuffy in here?
Better stuffy than dead.
What's the problem? Fumes from car exhausts?
Not just that, monsieur. There's a new burger bar opened up across the street. The Laughing Buffalo.
So what's the problem?
They cook their burgers on a charcoal grill. And the fat falls on the open flames.
Так,
The
а чё
amount
ты
of
не
organic
проверил?
compound and
Работает.
smoke particles released is astounding. Since they opened, local air pollution has doubled. And it stinks like a funeral pyre. That is why I keep the windows closed.
Угу.
In the case was a spindly tripod, blackened with age and pitted with rust. It was identical to the tripod pictured on the manuscript. A notice identified it as 15th century from Western Ireland. It had been found in Loch Marne at the site of a Knights Templar preceptory.
Ireland! What's that?
This tripod was found in Ireland.
I will have to ask you to keep your voice down.
I'm sorry, I was excited.
Так, и чего? Треногу там нам дадут взять?
You'll have that done on top of us.
Видимо, нет. Так, окей. Эй, я ж поговорить хотел. Что я делаю?
Leave it alone. That closet is over 3,000 years old.
Я не хотел.
Closet? It's a sarcophagus.
Watch out!
Да я не хочу, я хочу с тобой поговорить.
Oui, monsieur?
Are you Lobino?
Oh, no. Fancy you mistaking me for him. No. I am the deputy custodian.
But Lobino does work here.
Work? I wouldn't go so far as to call it that. He studies here most days, but as you can see for yourself, not today.
Do you know anything about the Knights of the Temple?
Блин, сомневаюсь, он
Not
же
a sausage.
о саркофаге
The
ничего не
tripod
знает.
says it was found at a Templar preceptory.
It does.
Yeah. It doesn't mention John Dee at all.
Most remiss.
You don't know anything about the tripod, do you?
No, I don't. I never had much of a start in life, you see. I owe what little education I gained to my uncle. He was an optician, but he also doubled as the village school teacher. He taught me the alphabet. Wait, 19 letters of it. The bottom row of the chart was too small even for him to read, so he left them out.
Why don't you start over and enroll for adult education?
You know, I never thought of that. Do you think if I studied art and did all my homework, I could be a professor of history?
At your age? Dream on.
Это же самого
Can you give me
подтолкнул на
any
мысли
further
об
information
этом.
about the tripod?
Certainly, monsieur. It's infamous. That tripod, that belonged to John Dee.
What's the importance of John Dee's tripod?
Dee was the most famous escapologist of the 16th century. The Houdini of his time.
Don't you mean alchemist? Escapologists use ropes, chains, and handcuffs, not tripods.
And whatever he was, that is the tripod he used in his experiments.
What kind of experiments did John Dee perform with his tripod?
Oh, the usual. Didn't you study chemistry at school?
Yeah, but we skipped over thaumatology. Can I take a closer look at the tripod?
What? Get it out of the case? Ah, no! That tripod is protected by a sophisticated surveillance system.
Неужели прорываться будем?
A painfully loud alarm bell.
How is the alarm bell triggered?
By the slightest pressure on or movement of any part of the case wherein that tripod is situated.
It strikes me that to call your alarm system sophisticated is, well, stretching the truth a little.
It has never failed yet. The sophistication is in its simplicity.
Do you know anything about medieval manuscripts?
Not me, monsieur. I am no scholar, though people often mistake me for one. It is the uniform, I guess. They see the clothes. They are impressed.
And they ask you to park their cars?
They ask me to park the... No. They assume I am an authority on the exhibits in my care.
Whereas you know next to nothing about history.
Of course not. All I am saying is, I am no scholar, not like Monsieur Lobineau.
Так, где мне его найти?
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, monsieur.
I guess not. Have you ever heard of the...
Oh, no.
Do you... No.
Ну, больше, наверное, нет смысла с ним
Would you like to shake
разговаривать.
my hand?
Not while I'm on duty.
Thanks.
Блин, погоди-ка. А куда он уехал-то, этот Лобино? Или я все-таки в музее что-то должен сделать? Или я должен... Ну-ка. Возвращение в квартиру Ника. Ну вот да.
Hi. I've been to the Kroon Museum.
Did you speak to Lobineau?
No, he wasn't there. I found the tripod.
Where?
In the museum. It belonged to the Templars. It was dug up in Ireland at a place called Loch Marne.
I have heard of Loch Marne. I read an article about the castle. Take a look for yourself.
A popular gossip magazine. You read that rubbish?
No, I write it.
Professor Nigel Pegram, excavating the medieval castle at Loch Marne. That's strange.
What?
He resigned his chair at Durham University in order to devote his time to the excavation. Not only that, but he canceled the filming of a 4th series of his popular television program. This site at Loch Marne must be awful important to him.
He's a professor of history. They're all cuckoo.
All the same, I'd like to talk to this Professor Pegram. How do you feel about a trip to Ireland?
Disappointed.
Huh?
That I won't be going. I want to follow up the Belota case. If you really think Picram's gem is important, why don't you visit Loch Marne?
On my own? I'm not so sure about that. Where is Ireland exactly?
То есть мы
Let's take another look at
все-таки
the
поедем или нет? Блин, зря я опять это выбрал.
There's a guy, but there's a
Привет, Луминеги. Да, есть такое.
there's a
Так.
Have you found out any more about the murders?
Well, it may be nothing, but both the clan's victims visited Paris earlier this year.
When?
The second week of July. They were both here at the same time.
Did they meet?
I don't know, but I can't imagine it was coincidence.
maybe not. No way.
Ну, типа, делать больше здесь нечего.
Okay, I'll see you later.
И мы поедем в этот... Забыл куда. Или нет? А, ну да, аэропорт. О, господи. А, кстати, неплохо, что здесь точки закрывают, в которых, типа, ничего не надо. И, видимо, в которые мне больше не придется возвращаться. Хотя, черт его знает. Несколько часов спустя. Может быть, сутки спустя?
The castle where Peagram's excavation was located. I tugged at the trapdoor, but it was locked from the inside.
Угу, заперта. То есть нужны кусачки либо ключ.
I tugged at the plastic cover, but it didn't.
Но она не поддалась. По-моему, их тут рожи не правили особо.
Hi there.
What?
What's your name, kid?
Ну, типа регистра... А, ну хотя да. Там даже с регистрацией суток не выйдет. Я что-то совсем.
I'm George Stobart, and I'm with the good guys.
You're a head case, mister. A few sandwiches short of a picnic.
Cut the crap and tell me your name.
Liam McGuire.
What are you doing hanging around the bar, McGuire?
I'm on the run from me dad.
Why? Did you do something bad?
I ain't done nothing, boss.
You can tell me, kid. Is it your dad?
Oh, sir. He drinks every last penny down his evil throat.
Блин, тут портрета, кстати, что-то... Он карлик, а тут не скажешь.
Chopped firewood for Father Mahoney till me fingers bled. The old skinflint cheated me too. But I took the pennies he gave me back home. Look, Ma, says I, see what your darling son has earned with his own sweat and blood. When suddenly, me dad appears and grabs the loot. I'm off to Dublin, heavy drinking, says he. Watch out till I get back. That's why I runned away.
Something in the grin on his face told me he wasn't being strictly truthful. Compared to him, Huckleberry Finn was a candidate for Altar Boy of the Year. Do you know a man called Pegram?
Can you describe him like on the telly in the cop shows?
He's an English archaeologist.
I know the man you mean if he's the one.
Can you tell me where I'd find Pegram?
No, I can't, 'cause he's not here now, but if I sees him, I'll ask him.
Do you know what Pegram was doing in the castle?
Digging for buried treasure. Jewels and gold and skeletons, like in the films.
Have you seen a guy dressed as a clown?
Here in Lochmarn, they all dress like clowns.
The man I'm looking for is a dangerous psychotic.
Jesus. It's just like that film I saw. Did this clown see? And he's after this kid who saw him kill a guy. He tries to warn the sheriff, only no one believes him. Then, while he's in the tub,
Это что еще за фильм такой?
him up with a chainsaw.
Оно там, по-моему, по-другому убивали, нет?
For a kid like you?
Who are you calling a kid? I'm 25.
Yeah, right. You're not a day over 14.
Oh no, it's 25 that I am. Married with a car and 3 kids. 10 kids if you count the wives.
What can you tell me about the castle, McGuire?
What do you want to know?
Well, can I get inside?
No, it's locked up.
Does anyone live there?
No. Only, what do you want to know? Oh, nothing.
You know something about the castle you're not telling me, don't you?
No,
What is it you're covering up? Is it something you're scared of?
I ain't scared of nothing.
I'll give you one last chance to tell me about the castle.
Oh, yeah? And what if I don't?
Then I'm taking you back to school.
Oh, there's a ghost. It's called the Phantom of Lochmarn.
You're not telling me you believe in ghosts, are you?
Mister, I seen it with me very own eyes. Last Tuesday night, I went up to see what that dig was about. I just reached the top of the wall when I hears this awful noise.
What sort of noise?
A horrible snuffling and snorting, like O'Brien's pig, only worse. It was coming from inside the castle.
Did you find out what was making the noise in the castle?
No fear. I just sat there on the wall like Humpty Dumpty. The moon was cracked and greasy like an old dinner plate. The yard was full of shadows that could have been hiding anything. I would have gone home, but me legs had lost their stuffing.
Did you get to see the ghost?
Indeed I did. And a fearsome sight it is too. I sat on my arse, waited while the moon went down. Then out it comes from the shadows, all grey and tattered and hunched over like an old bent willow. Then I hears this spluttering and splashing and horrible laughter in the dark. I was so scared. Why, I fell off the bloody wall.
Все тоже был свежий пацан. Ну, я хз на самом деле. Единственное, что я знаю, это то, что сценарий типа немного расширили, за девушку дали поиграть. На визуализация диалогов. Может быть и пацан. Это хз. Тиранозавр. А, ты все еще Jurassic Park мучаешь. Я его смотрел недавно. И, по-моему, Барас проходил, то ли еще кто-то. Вроде не так сложно казалось. По крайней мере, он как-то его забудил, то ли что. Типа стоял в определенной точке. Я даже сам подумал пройти ее. Ибо не так уж сложно показалась игра.
I'm sure there's a rational explanation for what you saw at the castle.
There is. The bloody place is haunted.
Блин, а почему мы до сих пор в бар не
No, sir,
пойдем?
I never seen it before in my life.
И вот зачем мне этот
See you later,
коробок?
kid.
Okay, Miss.
Стоп, а ему можно руку пожать,
Эй.
интересно?
What?
Give me your hand.
Get lost.
Oh, come on. I just want to show you a little trick.
No way, mister. I don't do
Да
this.
ну
You
хорош!
told me I'd
Я
burn in hell if I
хочу...
did.
I just want to shake your hand, that's
Я
all.
хочу руку пожать. Все не отказываются.
Okay, mister.
Да я хз, как там на деле-то. Просто там вроде что-то есть. Ну, насколько сейчас. Он вроде, ну, он стоит в правой части экрана, и потом этот Тирекс идет на тебя, если я правильно помню. Как бы такой хоп, вниз ныряешь, бас-бас-бас, стреляешь, поднимаешься вверх. И типа плюс-минус так. И, ну, хз. Я-то смотрел мельком, отбрызто и так далее. Но мне показалось, это несложно. На деле, возможно, это не так. Мыть руки? Не, нигде раковины не нашел. Мы, кстати, по-моему, до сих пор не помылись после того, как по канализации побродили.
It was a beer-stained piece of toweling.
А, без турбокнопки не получится? Понял.
It was a rectangle of toweling printed with the words Nagopolian stout builds body.
А зачем мне полотенце? О, это похоже на этого, как его, царь горы. Хэнк, или как его зовут. Только похудевший.
George.
Pleased to meet you, mister.
А по портрету и не скажешь.
Can I get you another drink?
Oh, no, thank you. I shouldn't be drinking at all. I'm on tablets for my nerves. More than a pint and I'll pass out.
Do you know Professor Pegram?
He's the archaeologist, isn't he?
That's right. Did you work at Professor Pegram's dig?
What gave you that idea?
What can you tell me about the castle?
There's nothing there. Just an old ruin.
How old?
I really couldn't tell you.
Have you ever explored the castle yourself?
I used to play there sometimes, when I was a kid. Then one of the little ones fell off the wall, broke his head and died. We didn't go there anymore.
You haven't been up there recently?
No.
Ну, кстати, про полотенце имеет смысл расспрашивать.
Doesn't belong on the bar.
Very observant, Fitzgerald.
Типа да, из бара, но... В чем подвох? Так. Стоп, а я со всеми тремя буду говорить или только с одним? Блин, эти, конечно, кругляшки в стене.
He wasn't listening.
Он не слушал. Хорошо.
Hello there. My name's George Stobart.
Pleased to meet you, I'm sure. I'm O'Brien. Can I help you?
Блин, есть комик О'Брайен, кстати говоря.
Do you know Sean Fitzgerald?
Yes, I do. What you want with him?
I want to talk to him about working at the dig.
I can't imagine anyone employing Sean Fitzgerald on a dig. He wouldn't know a post hole from his elbow.
Have you heard of the Phantom?
More than that. I've seen it. And let me tell you, it's a dreadful spectacle.
So it's not just a local legend. There really is a Phantom of Lochmarn.
Oh no, I was talking about the Phantom of the Opera.
Have you ever heard of the Knights Templar?
I most certainly have. A remarkable institution. Did you know? They were the originators of our system of credit. Their financial empire stretched from the Atlantic to the Caspian Sea. With bases in so many countries, they had to establish new methods of fiscal transfer.
So, the Knights Templar were nothing but a bunch of bankers.
I don't get it. Are you saying these Templar guys invented bank charges?
In a manner of speaking, I suppose they did.
What a dirty trick. Didn't anyone try to stop them?
Oh yes, they were arrested and many were burnt at the stake.
Good. They bloody well deserved it if they were anything like my bank manager.
What can you tell me about the castle, Mr. O'Brien?
It's a fine sight now, isn't it? Dates back to the 10th century, you know. Most of the existing building was added much later, of course.
Are the ruins open to the public?
Oh no, it's much too dangerous. Anyway, there's nothing of interest remaining.
How can I get into the castle?
Well, those walls were built specifically to stop people getting in, Mr. Stobart. But I dare say you'll find a way, if you've the will.
Can you tell me about the tripod?
Да, ну хорош чихать там.
Castle?
Now, there's a bone of contention and controversy. It was dug up by an Englishman of the archaeological persuasion.
Who was this Englishman?
Professor Pegram, the same man who dug up the gem.
Камень
Do you know where I
какой-то.
can find Pegram?
You're too late to meet that fella.
Is he dead?
Not that. But he's gone from the village. I saw a point with our esteemed host.
Он уже уехал?
Do you know where Pegram is gone?
I'm sorry, but I don't. He upped anchor in the dark and shipped out before the dawn.
Why did he do that?
Who knows? A guilty conscience or a secret assignation. Whatever the reason, he'll not be missed in Lochmarn. Maybe now the fuss about the gem has died down, we can get back to normal.
What can you tell me about the gem which Pegram found?
Now there's a gem which should never have been taken. A man would have to be full of greed to covet that stone. What's your interest in the jewel? You're not a reporter, are you?
Нет, наверное.
Thank the Lord for that.
Why has Pegram's departure upset the landlord?
He's lost a paying guest, that's why. More than that, there's the question of an unsettled bill. Poor Michael's seen red over the business, and I don't blame him.
Может, его
Can you tell me more about the
похитили?
landlord?
Mick
Профессора.
Leary is what you call a would-be sophisticate. The trouble is, his idea of sophistication extends as far as putting paper in the lavatory.
I never worked out why he did that. It's much too dark in there to read.
That's true. Have you ever run your hand over the back of the door? The graffiti is written in braille.
Так, полотенце.
Does this towel mean anything to you?
Sure, it's one of Leary's towels. Are you planning on stealing it?
Just borrowing it, if you must know.
Мы позаимствовали,
Bye for now.
непонятно зачем. Ну ладно.
Hi, my name's Stobart, George Stobart.
Hello there, mister. What can I do for you?
Давай про
What do you think
полотенце.
of this towel?
Now, there's a fine piece of cloth if ever I did see one. Such craft must surely come from linen cupboards of the Vatican itself.
Do you know Professor Pegram?
Do I know him? Do I know the good professor himself? No, I don't. I mean, I know who he is, but I don't know him to talk to.
Do you know anything about Pegram's excavation?
Only that he didn't have the right tools for the job. What he needed was shovels and a JCB.
Pegram was digging for historical remains, not coal.
Is that a fact? What the hell for?
is the science of archaeology part. Understanding how people used to live by what they've left behind. One day archaeologists might be digging up our remains.
Imagine that, Mr. O'Brien. I wonder what they'll find.
Well, it won't be arrowheads and beakers. Fast food cartons and flavored condoms, more likely.
Did anyone from the village work at Peagram's Dig?
I tried it myself, but that high and mighty history man called me incontinent. What a nerve. Hadn't I dug more holes than the rest of them put together?
Do you remember seeing Sean Fitzgerald at the dig?
Let me see now. I think me brain box needs a spot of lubrication.
Can I buy you a drink?
You most certainly can.
Give me a drink for my friend here.
Who? Doyle? Has he conned you into buying for him? Shame on you, Patrick. Same again.
Just a point this time, Michael.
1 point of ground coming up.
Do you remember Sean Fitzgerald now?
I can picture the scene as if it was only last week. Come to think of it, it was only last week. Fitzgerald was there all right. Him and a bunch of students. He was speaking with the boss man.
Can you tell me anything about the castle on the hill?
Oh, I don't know much about anything. You should ask Mr. O'Brien here. He does joined up writing. Would you be one of them?
Так я спрашивал, по-моему, у Брайана.
Oh no, I'm here on vacation.
What's that?
A vacation part. It's what the Americans call a holiday.
Oh, right. In Lochmarn? You come to Lochmarn for a holiday?
Sure, it's a very pretty place.
Where the hell are you from, mister?
California.
I know it. That's where the prunes come from.
Yeah, amongst other things.
Ох, шит Калифорния.
Bye for now.
Так, ладно, давай попробую еще раз с Брайаном.
Hello there.
Ничего нового. Ладно, давай с Хаденом, потом с Чихуном.
Top of the morning to you.
I beg your pardon.
Well, that's what you Irish say, isn't it?
Do you want something? Or are you just flaunting your xenophobia?
Well, I was trying to be sociable.
Is it a room you're after?
No, thank you. I don't plan to stay too long.
Who does? Most folk take one look at Lochmarn and jump back on the bus.
Have you served any,
В
clowns?
смысле, почему все время спрашиваем про клоунов?
You're the first today.
Просто как бы он без костюма клоуна явно бы ходил
Do
бы
you know a
тут.
man called Peagram?
Indeed I do. Are you a friend of his, by any chance?
Oh no, I'm just trying to track him down.
Тут скорее про Хана имеет
That's
смысл
one of the
спрашивать.
he locked away.
Did Peagram stay here?
Yes, he did. 6 nights plus breakfast.
I'll try a glass of beer, please.
Is this your first pint of real ale?
Well, I guess so. What's real ale, anyhow?
Beer that's brewed from natural ingredients to traditional methods. It shouldn't be kept under pressure or refrigerated. And finally, it should have a good body and distinctive character.
In other words, it's flat and worn with bits in, and it makes you fall over.
May I borrow this towel?
Sure you can, on one condition.
What's that?
You keep it away from old Ron.
Who's Ron?
That's him in the corner, with the hygiene problem.
Look, I gotta be going.
Не давать ему полотенце? А если я ему дам? Он же поди мне какую-нибудь услугу за это окажет.
Nasty cold you've got there. As soon as the words left my lips, I regretted them.
Is there such a thing as a cold which isn't nasty? I put the question to Father Mahoney. Father, says I, why were we born to suffer snot?
What did he say?
He said, it's my reward for being out all night like a sinner. Pious prig. Anyway, this is no ordinary cold. 'Tis the hay fever.
Pollinosis?
Thank you. You're not a policeman, are you?
Excuse me?
Police? No. I'd know it if you were.
Подожди, это что такое?
What's that you're making?
It's a necklace, me
А,
bucko.
Oh, sure. Made out of steel wire?
That's right. A necklace for my pretty one. When my little lover feels it round her slender neck, she'll be mine. All mine.
Do you know Pegram, the archaeologist?
That's the scrawny fellow who was poking around at the castle, isn't it? No, I don't know him.
Can I buy you a beer?
Very kind, I'm sure. But I don't drink the stuff Leary sells.
What's wrong with it?
I've seen what it can do.
это имеет смысл полотенце ему
Could you use
отдать.
this towel?
I could, but it wouldn't be much use for anything else.
Can you tell me how to get into the castle?
Don't even think about it, me bucko. Lochmarn Castle is haunted.
That's what the kid outside told me, but I don't believe it.
Then you're a fool.
Ghosts don't bother me. I still want to visit that castle.
You can't. It's not open to the public.
There's no one around to stop me, is there?
That's right. Nothing human, anyhow.
Have you ever seen the ghost?
To be sure. With me very own eyes.
Can you describe the ghost?
It was horrible. A wee stunted beast, long beak, straggly, flappy wings.
Are you sure it wasn't a wild animal? A rabbit or a skunk or something?
Skunk? In Lochmarn? That'll be the day. No, that was a ghost, to be sure.
I think I know what you saw on the castle wall.
I know what I saw.
I don't think so. It was the kid, McGuire.
What?
He was up on the wall last Tuesday night. He thought you were the Phantom of Lochmarn.
Oh,
Понятно. Так.
I'll see you.
Но мы узнали, что он был на раскопках. А ну, выкладывай.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Блин, вот что это такое?
Doyle told me you
Ну,
definitely
пролагал.
were big. He's seen you there. You might as well admit it.
I knew this would happen. I knew I'd get caught.
I need to talk to Professor Pegram, if he's still alive.
What do you mean? Is he in danger?
Yeah, you too, if I'm right.
You're not from the Social Security.
Hell no. What makes you think that?
Well, I was claiming benefits at the same time I was working for Pegram.
I'm not in a position to make judgments, Sean. That's between you and your conscience. All I want is to talk to Pegram about the gem.
But he's not here.
I know that. But he left that package with you, didn't he? So where did Pegram go?
I don't know. I swear it. He came to see me early this morning. Said he was leaving. He asked me to give this package to a guy called Marquet.
Show me what's in the package, Sean.
I can't do that.
Why not?
I promised the professor.
So what? You didn't have any qualms about your benefit scam. So where's the harm in taking a peek inside Pegram's package?
You don't know these people. I can't. I don't dare.
This is your last chance to show me the package, Fitzgerald. I've been patient with you, but now it's time to kick ass.
But he'll kill me.
Who will?
The man from Paris. Jack Marquet. Pegram told me if I gave him the package unopened, I'd hear no more about it. But if I double-crossed Marquet, I'd be dead.
I'll deal with Jacques Marquet. Give the package to
Что-то
me.
сомнительно. Мы разберемся с ним.
Why should I trust you? I don't know who to trust anymore. I wish I'd never even heard of the Lochmarn gem.
Он там разбился?
Hey, I just seen a big red...
Get out of here, McGuire. Come back when you're old enough.
What's the lad howling about?
A big red sports car. Sean Fitzgerald's been runned over.
Get out,
Переехала?
noisy little tyke.
Maybe you should send out some medicinal brandy maker.
Oh, yes. And who's going to pay for it?
Not me.
Me too, neither.
Нормально не среагировали.
Telling the truth about Fitzy, mister.
Okay, calm down. Now tell me what happened.
I was standing here, minding me own business, when I saw this beautiful red sports car coming up over the hill. Would you look at that, says I, and I going over to take a closer look. Next thing, Fitzy comes tearing out of the pub and nearly knocks me on my ass, but the car just flies at him. It was too fast for poor old Fitzy, and ate him an awful wallop.
Ну да, я тоже заметил, что штука отвалилась.
Jesus, says I thought he was a goner. Next thing, the driver hops out, and I couldn't believe my eyes. He was dressed like a bloody pixie.
О, это наш клиент. В костюме.
I pushed the switch down, but in doing so it snapped off in my hand. I tugged at the...
Про систему, наверное, надо спросить у владельца бара.
Did this pixie have a scar on his cheek?
I couldn't see. He was wearing a stupid mask. Are you a special agent?
Sorry to disappoint you, kid, but I'm not. Did Fitzgerald drop anything when he was hit?
I didn't see. It all happened so fast.
Maybe the package fell somewhere out of sight. What do you make of this, kid?
Hey, that's one of Leary's towels. He'll skin you alive.
That old windbag doesn't skip.
You're pretty cool.
See you later.
Okay.
Так, а там что? Там карта, да? А, нет. Это вход в замок, я полагаю.
Pushing with all my strength.
Видимо, да.
Hi, do you speak English?
Well, now, what if I was to say no? An implication of cognizance shrouded in denial. A pretty poser of a paradox indeed.
I gave him the look I'd perfected when I was 12 and was going to be the greatest hypnotist of all time. It was a killer.
Are you attempting to hypnotize me, or is it the constipation you're suffering?
I was a little out of practice. Did you happen to see a red sports car down on the road?
I caught a glimpse of a flash of red on the hill and heard the racket. Sure, it was an awful noise. A sports car, you say?
A Ferrari, to be exact.
A racing car? And what was it doing here? The poor fella must have been lost.
The driver of the Ferrari was involved in an accident.
Is that so?
Yeah, he knocked somebody down outside the bar.
What an idiot! How could a thing like that happen?
He was traveling too fast.
So fast, he ran right under the car?
I mean, the car was traveling too fast.
But you'd have thought the idiot could have heard it coming.
Maybe you know the guy who was hit by the Ferrari. His name is Sean Fitzgerald.
Oh, I know him all right. That's me nephew, the idiot responsible for the stacking of my hay cart. Was he killed by the car?
Oh, no, but he has been abducted.
Well, that's a relief now.
Aren't you going to look for your nephew?
What for? From what you say, it's too late.
Well, you could report the matter to the police.
Better not. Besides, what could they do?
Well, they could mount a search.
They have only the one bicycle between them. In a question of superior acceleration, I put me money on the Ferrari.
Велосипед против
I
Феррари.
think you want to
Неплохо.
know exactly what Sean has gotten himself into.
I'm not sure I want to know.
But you're his uncle. His own flesh and blood.
You're right, but what can I do? If I'm not here to guard it, some idiot might try to climb the haystack. What a moral dilemma. Stay here and guard this potentially lethal agricultural construction, or to go off in search of the prodigal nephew, the very man responsible for said hazard? It'll need some thinking about.
Why, there's no problem.
You're right. Why didn't I think of it before? We'll demolish the haystack.
You don't have to demolish the haystack to go look for Sean. I'll stay here in your place, and warn anyone who's silly enough to climb it.
Marvellous! I think I should start me inquiries in the bar.
А толку то, что я выпроводил вас
He strode
сюда.
off in the direction of McDevitt's bar, leaving me to contemplate the stack of hay.
Типа там ключ от ворот? А, я
The stack of
постукал.
hay
Понятно.
stopped short of the top of the wall. Even if I stretched as far as I could, the wall was out of reach. What I needed was a slice or two of Alice's Wonderland.
Ну хотя да, оно короткое. Стопает, что такое?
I pushed my fingers into the narrow crack. It went back several inches into the rock.
А, то есть надо что-то воткнуть. Ну, у меня есть лом замечательный.
I inserted the end of the lifting key and it remained lodged in the...
Едить, козел пугает. Так, сейчас я подойду. Так. Надо сохраниться. Ну-ка, это сколько? 36. Угу. Так, а оттуда я пришел, правильно? Да. Блин, а почему эта анимация не скипается? Ой-ой-ой.
The rope by which the goat was tethered had become tangled on the old plowshare.
А тут, наверное, смерть была в оригинале. Освободить я его никак не могу. Но я его отогнал от лестницы. Блин, а насколько интересно у вас слышно музыка? Да, она тут есть, но мне показывает, что ее вообще вас не слышно. Так, наверное, должно быть получше.
Dipped my fingers into the soft white powder, I realized what it was. Plaster of Paris. I'd used it in kindergarten to make casts of animal paw prints.
Так, сейчас, секунду. Вот, так должно быть погромче.
I reached into the sack, but it was empty. It was a handful of plaster left in the castle by Pegram's archaeology team.
Угу, горсть гипса. Что тут еще у нас есть?
The statue was too heavy to lift. It overbalanced into the sand.
Я могу ее поднять? Да.
As I swung the stone upright, I noticed it had left a pattern of holes in the sand. I sprinkled the plaster on the sand until the holes were filled. I smoothed the plaster level with the sand. It was my first experience of home improvement.
А как его достать? Нужна вода, насколько я понимаю. А где? А, полотенцем? Да нет. Было бы максимально странно. Если бы он выжил это полотенце, пивом бы залил эту горсть. Хотя чем черт не шутит. Ну да. Понятно.
I squeezed the towel as hard as I could, but it was barely damp.
А, едва влажно. Тогда мне надо в бар идти. А меня с этого экрана вообще выпустят? Да.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
May I have another?
Certain.
Yeah, please.
That's each barrel is suspended on skillfully tied ropes of the finest hemp, lowered into the cellar, utilizing the forces of original gravity, like manna from heaven. I'm sorry, but the pump appears to be broken.
I could fix it for you.
I don't think so. This is a job for a professional electrician. Oh well, at least the glass washer is still working. It's not my dear, is it?
Does this...
I'm not.
Look. I couldn't see anything obviously wrong with the machine. I figured it must be the wiring.
Я думаю, надо выключить и включить. А в смысле его это не устроило?
Hey, where?
Excuse me.
No customers behind.
I could try to fix your glass washer.
Oh no, not unless you're a qualified electrician.
А, я понял. У меня же есть бумажка.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
It just so happens I'm an electrician. Check out my credentials.
Well, now, isn't that marvellous? Here's a house bedeviled with faulty wiring of a wayward nature. Here's you, an electric man, with a little plastic card to prove it. I still want to see what you can do before I let you touch me beer pumps. You can make a start on the glass washer. And when you finish that, will you take a look at the pumps?
Блин, шеф, бар сожжем.
I used all my knowledge of electrical engineering to examine the plug. I couldn't see anything obviously wrong with the machine. I figured it must be the wiring. I used...
Нельзя просто полотенце обмакнуть и убежать. О, у него можно взять
As soon as the old guy looked away, I grabbed his piece of wire.
проволоку. Сейчас заземление будем делать, или как он там называется?
I replaced the fuse with a piece of wire. I knew it was dangerous, but I was desperate enough to disregard everything I knew about standard safety precautions.
Excuse me, Mr. Leary. I fixed your glass washer, no problem.
Bingo! And a blessing to all the saints. A free half-pint to that man, on the house. Now, could you take a look at the beer pumps?
Oh, I guess so, but I'm not making any promises.
If you can't fix them, I'll have a riot on me hands.
The pumps are in the cellar, right?
That's right. You'll find a flashlight down there somewhere.
I pushed the lever and heard the grating of metal.
Стоп, а где здесь фонарик?
I pulled the lever.
Но он же сказал, что он где-то тут. А здесь ничего и нету. Ну-ка, что будет, если рычаг
I pushed
нажать?
the lever and heard the...
Лязг металла, ничего не произошло. А так?
I pulled the lever and the bolt creaked back into place.
Ну, что ты мне расскажешь?
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
На самом деле мне бы
Look,
не помог бы фонарик. Так, эти работяги.
Bye for now. Excuse me.
Я с музыкантом еще ничего не...
I have a suspicion that Fitzgerald might have been given something by Pegram.
I thought he acted strangely.
I'm talking about the gem. It was something he said.
Were you not speaking to him when he ran out of the bar?
Yeah, sure. Just talking, that's all. Goodbye for now. He was...
Походу, надо было еще что-то найти
Hello again.
в замке.
If I was a woman, I wouldn't think much of a wire necklace.
It's not made for a woman. I've got my sights on tastier dishes than women. Flesh as smooth and tender as a maiden's. Bones as soft and white as a newborn babe's. Rabbit, lad. That's what gets my juices flowing.
I'll see you.
А,
It was impossible to return the switch to its original.
это же с насосом, видимо, связана штуковина. Ну, как мне ее починить? Мне клоунский нос еще зачем-то до сих пор есть у меня.
Hey, McGuire,
What?
have you ever seen this man before?
What a
See you later.
Okay.
Блин, а как козел здесь остается жив? Если у него вода уже давно кончилась, а он здесь привязан.
I tried in vain to move the panel. I placed my fingers. I reached.
Короче, более мне здесь сделать нечего. Так. Что-то непонятное есть насоса.
The nose was hollow. Printed on the inside were the words. It was a bright.
Вот что с этой штукой? Почему она не работает?
It was impossible to return the switch to its original position.
Не могу его вернуть в свое обычное состояние. Ну не можешь. Может быть, нам было всем фотографию показать, и что-нибудь триггерилось? Это навряд ли на самом деле.
Hello again.
What?
Во что оно может триггерить?
I can't.
Ah, so you're making snares to trap rabbits.
That's right. Do you have a problem with that?
Damn right I do. Isn't it painful?
Only if I get me fingers caught.
I'm talking about the rabbits. Do they feel much pain?
You bet.
Do you recognize? I'll see you later.
Ну что я должен сделать?
I pushed the lever and heard the...
Лязг металла, ничего не произошло. А, может быть, снаружи что-нибудь изменилось? Привет, мэн.
It was impossible.
Я не могу вернуть его в положение. А,
I lifted the trap door, and an overpowering smell of stale beer rose from
подожди,
the door.
она же закрыта была.
Stone-tiled floor, way too far to jump.
Короче, почему-то штука открылась, но я не понял почему.
Excuse me.
There was a nasty feeling in my guts I
Опа.
usually associated with light opera. It
Это
was
же мужик со
wrong. What's the
шрамом.
problem?
Did you see what happened here a few minutes ago?
What was that?
A man was involved in an unfortunate accident.
I didn't see anything.
What about the boy?
He doesn't know anything either. The kid, well, you know how it is in these rural communities. Not enough genes to go round. I prayed McGuire had the sense to keep his mouth shut. Was the guy hurt bad?
He's been taken care of, but he thinks he dropped a small parcel. You didn't happen to find it, did you?
If I had, I would have taken it to the police.
Of course. Thank you.
И ушел. Так, он сказал... Что там, высоко падать ему, да? Я, насколько понял, это от подвала фиговина.
Impossible.
А, и с этим я ничего не могу... Ладно, давай я с ним поговорю, скажу, чтобы он не выпендривался и молчал.
Hey,
На всякий
McGuire.
случай.
What?
See you
Угу.
later, kid.
Okay.
Не могу.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Look. Now I could see. I spotted Mr.
Ah.
Site easily. Then I noticed a flash of light. Something sparkling beneath the open trap door. It was Peagram's gem, all right. A large, uncut blue stone. I guess I was already under its spell.
Did you find it?
What?
Whatever you was looking for.
Yeah. Listen, McGuire. I want you to keep this to yourself.
No problemo. Just chuck us up a crate of lager.
No way. You're not old enough.
We can sell it and make some cash.
Forget it, kid. I couldn't betray Mr. Leary's trust.
I could, for sure. That old misery guts deserves it.
If you want to do me a favor, keep a lookout for that guy in the suit.
Okay. But it'll cost you a packet of chips.
Блин, он звучит как будто из
Oh,
трубы.
and shout if you see that Ferrari.
Блин, он походу Феррари собьет. Ой, полотенце. В смысле, полотенце смочи?
The slow drip of water barely dampened the towel.
Я надеюсь, здесь не будет правила 3 раз. Типа 3 раза водой на эту фигню. Покапай. Ну, у меня еще и фонарик есть. Ну, любим же мы награбить имущество разное.
I squeezed the towel as hard as I could, but it was barely damp.
В смысле едва влажным?
I smoothed the plaster level with the sand. It was a large... It was the barman's... It was a rectangle of toweling printed...
Типа надо все-таки воду починить, да? Да пара капель нормально. Что началось? Ладно, пошли чинить.
It was impossible.
Ну, рычаг он теперь не активен, кстати говоря.
The faucet creaked.
Ну я и дурак. Он его... Кран. Он сам не захотел
I
его.
held the towel under the faucet and soaked it with water.
Отлично, теперь выключи кран.
I shut off the faucet as tight as I could.
Ну теперь ты достаточно смочил. Скубаться на время все. Делаешь меньше, чем за 10 секунд, тебе плохо будет. Да, вроде не должно высохнуть.
The trickle of water was quickly absorbed by the plaster. I eased the sub underneath. It had formed a...
Отлично.
The hardened plaster cast fitted snugly into the 5 matching sockets. There was a soft thud, then silence.
О, кстати, логотип как у игры. Так-то. А вот фонарик пригодился. Тем же вечером в Париже. Это, я полагаю, 42%, да? 45 даже. Ничего себе. Так. И что она хочет делать теперь?
My first teddy.
А что вы за нее должны делать? Чем мы должны заниматься? Типа от шкатулки у меня ключа нет, насколько я помню.
The box was carved by my... The elephant on the lid, but that small metal disc underneath it in the chest was a recent addition.
Металлический диск? В смысле, а где металлический
The
диск?
box was one of the elephant on the lid, but that small metal disc underneath it in the chest was a...
Я хочу металлический диск.
Another coded... So, Plantar, murderer must have... He will... Thierry's email. So, and for... Or, maybe he was... Whatever the story was. No.
В смысле, почему ты не хочешь комбинировать две части одной фотографии? Алло. Оно же слоты занимает.
Oh, chère cousine. You left me
Видимо... Вот так достать можно диск, правильно? Это же он? Ну нет. Короче, шмотка вора. Рженца. И что это за звук был? И что мы сделали? И что теперь? Я хотел выйти, отстаньте от меня.
The box was carved by my...
Так, ну звонить ей, наверное, незачем кому-либо. А, автоответчик, он же мигает.
I had messages waiting to be played.
You have 3 messages.
Hey, Collard, it's me, your favorite editor. Guess what? I'm gonna give you a second chance. I need somebody to write the TV column. Pays lousy, so what's new? If you're interested, drop by the office. In fact, drop by the office anyway. We have to talk, Nico. That story of yours I spiked. It won't go away. You've made some dangerous enemies out there.
Hey, Nico, it's your old pal. I mean, your new pal, George. Whoa, Ireland. It's a whole different country. And I got some amazing news for you. Gem of a story, in fact. Oh, gotta go. Yeah, fella here's got a drink lined up for me. See you tomorrow, Nico. Slán.
Блин, там было сказано джем, ну, типа камень драгоценный, который он нашел.
This is Imelda Carshon. I wanted to thank you for being so understanding when... Come to lunch, why don't you? Tomorrow. I might have more news. There's a Monsieur Merlon coming to see me this evening. He says he knows why Pierre was murdered. In fact, he'll be here shortly. I shall let you know what he says. Goodbye, dear girl. Till tomorrow.
Убийца на нас вышел.
My God, Merlin's the killer. I better get over there and warn her now. When it came to being two-faced, Imelda was up there with the best. I owed her nothing, but I couldn't just let her die.
Ну почему не позвонить? Она типа не поверит?
The Palais Royal courtyard deserted. I only hoped that I'd beaten the assassin here. I had to warn Imelda before it was too late. Fixed tight. I unhooked.
Не знаю зачем, но давайте тросы уберем.
I released the second. Even with both wires removed, the statue remained upright.
Так толкни ее. А.
If I could deconstruct this, I could deconstruct anything.
Даже не буду узнавать, почему я не могу войти через дверь. Подожди, чего? Проще всего было пройти через разбитое окно.
The plastic sheet was thick and strong.
Руками ее не отодрать.
No.
В смысле, заколкой можно изи отодрать. Тут выпендриваешься.
No.
А слоном тоже можно отодрать.
No.
Да разбитый, господи.
No. The plastic...
Ну, видимо, у меня этого предмета нет, окей.
Now I'd got this far, I wasn't giving up.
Надо было найти другой способ пробраться внутрь.
The plastic...
То есть... Я сейчас что-то могу сделать, чтобы отодрать.
It was a boat ticket.
Билет, бумага, бумага, бумага.
No.
Ну-ка, удиви меня, игра. Чем же ты будешь отдирать?
No. No. No.
Not.
No.
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 А, пулей. А чем я ключ не угодил? Странно, можно было бы запилить сюда вариативность на самом-то деле.
My God, I'm too late.
Так может она с горя напилась. Пульс проверь.
Imelda. Oh no.
Nico?
Так и
Oh,
знал.
you're going to be all right.
You know that isn't true.
It was Merlin, wasn't it?
Dressed as a cavalier. How absurd. You
А,
came
она
to warn me,
ранена.
didn't you?
I must be crazy.
Let me see you, Nico.
All this time you were just using me. Which one is the real Imelda?
You are an extraordinary girl. Thierry would have been so proud of you.
You didn't know my father.
So like him. Something about the eyes. I wish we'd had time to get to know each other.
She was gone. She cheated me, lied to me, used me. But why? Even in death, Imelda looked the same. Beautiful, inscrutable. The Ice Queen alone in her ice palace.
Такое чувство, как у меня голова не в центре росла, а сбоку.
I opened it. Inside was a tiny gold key.
Странно, что убийца его не
I
взял.
took the key. I had to leave. I knew I could never return.
Угу. И будет она выходить через окно? Ладно, ну это понятно, от чего ключ. Как у тебя успехи,
The
мэн?
box was carved. The elephant. I took out the key. I couldn't believe it. Imelda's key opened my father's box. I dreaded what I was going to find inside. It was a photograph of Imelda. But why here? In my father's box.
Ну, это...
I felt as if a black hole had swallowed me up. Imelda and Carchon grinning. While behind them a village was being razed to the ground. Its people butchered. And there, next to them, staring out at me across the years, my own father.
Фига себе.
There was a letter. I feared there was even worse to come.
Сидишь, хамишь? Приятного
Hotel
аппетита.
Saint-Georges, Algiers, Friday. My darling Thierry, by the time you read this, you'll be safely out of Africa. You need not fear. Pierre and the organization do not know who you're really working for. Or about us. Did you think I would betray you? I could not. You wanted me to leave him, but I don't have your courage. I know too much of what has been going on here. They would find me and they would kill us both. Enjoy your life in Paris, Thierry. Your life of honor, of patriotic duty. Do they give medals to spies? No, they'll just give you a phony job in an embassy somewhere. I could never share that with you. Imagine me, a diplomat's wife. So I must stay here with Pierre, the two of us bound together by what we have done to this country. Au revoir, my love. You will be in my heart until I die. Imelda. Suddenly everything made sense. My father had been working undercover for the government. He was one of the good guys after all. He and Imelda must have fallen in love. She'd found out who he really was, so he had to leave. It had broken her heart, but she had never revealed it to anyone. I knew I couldn't either. Whatever he was doing, he'd had good reason to keep it secret. I decided I would respect that and tell nobody.
Чего хомячишь? Я вот пельмени кушаю. Из Куствиля я не говно. Лучше коллекцию брать. Как мне кажется. О, на следующее утро.
I knew it was George. For a moment I was tempted to pretend that I was out. Or ask him to go away and come back later. But then... Come in.
Hello, George.
Странно, что не убийца.
So, where did you stay last night?
At McDevitt's. I got to drinking with Doyle and a couple of the guys.
That explains why you look so ill today. Did you get any sleep at all?
Not much. I had to share the room with another guy.
Did he snore?
Hardly. He was dead.
And you say Pigram has disappeared?
Without a trace. But my visit wasn't a complete waste of time.
Pigram's gem?
The Templars gem. Whoever Jacques Marquet is, he's in for a disappointment.
Jacques Marquet?
He's the guy who should have collected the gem from Fitzgerald.
What are your plans?
I want to find out who, what, or where Montfaucon was. All I've got to go by is the name and a picture of a hanged man. Let's take another look.
В смысле висельника?
The night through my teeth. There's a guy with between.
Алмаз на треноге. Мне в музей типа идти. А что мне это даст?
What are your plans?
I want to find out who, what. All I've got to go by is the name.
Название изображения висельника.
Do you want to look after the gem?
No, George. I'd be too tempted to sell it.
Look, Nico. A handful of plaster.
Yeah.
What's your price?
Your pockets stuffed with useless junk like little boys.
Ой, она у нас гипс отберет. Не отобрала. Ну ладно. Конечно, наверное, куплю всякое периферии, салатиков и прочего. Неплохо.
Okay. Don't forget to look for Lopinot at the Krun Museum. And why don't you see if Rosso has heard anything?
Okay. Anything else I can do for you while I'm out? Shopping, a trip to the laundromat?
Just take care of yourself.
Блин, салат с яблоками хочу. Или яблоко поесть. Вроде где-то валялось. Норм тема.
I so much wanted to talk to George about everything that had happened, but I knew I never could.
В последнее время начал нормально готовить. Неплохо.
His bravery would be known only to the government and to me. Revealing it would just damage his memory. People would take the story and twist it. Before long, he would be the villain and Carchon would be the hero. I know how they do that. I'm a journalist.
Но мне лень готовить, к сожалению. Гегемоны все или пока перерыв. Но там их две части. Типа, именно из этой линейки. То есть у нее есть продолжение. Первую мы прошли, но вторую ее там не скоро будем проходить. И вот там часов 80 ее играть опять. Поэтому надо, так сказать, прерваться. Типа, у меня от английского уже голова заболела. Поэтому решил в квест поиграть, который хотя бы есть на русском. После Broken Sword я не знаю, во что играть. Во все лень. Так. А куда она мне сказала идти? Я вот этого не понял. Ну-ка, а что будет, если я нажму на подсказку? Мне интересно. Блин, и за сколько мне засчитали этот ночной участок? 2%. Справедливо. И здесь подсказку нельзя заюзать. Я запутался просто, куда она мне сказала идти. Но он уже нам это рассказывал. Ну-ка, если мы камень покажу.
I had the right qualifications in military manner.
Необъяснимая ненависть к детям. Была огромное яблоко, я обычно по дороге на работу съедаю какой-нибудь фрукт, типа яблоко, груши или бананы. Ну это неплохо на самом деле. Типа особенно на завтрак, когда ты не успеешь ничего приготовить, а тебе нужны типа быстрые калории, то бананы норм. Внезапно. Хотя с другой стороны мне их не хватает. То есть не стоит ожидать прохождения печки? Это Ну, вообще я не хочу, да, я в Петьку играть, ибо, ну, я знаю, что это за квест, и, типа, не особо интересно. Мне больше нравятся приключенческие или, типа, того. Без каких-то миров и так далее. То есть Алёша Попович, например, есть еще квест. Типа, что-то не хочется. Лучше что-нибудь в стиле Индианы, либо про детектив.
Mais oui, Inspector. Have you found him?
Who?
The man in the sewer, of course.
I'm, sifting through the evidence.
Rather you than me, monsieur. So, when you are not exploring sewers, what do you do?
Надо будет это список планируемых игр обновить.
Oh, very good, monsieur. A policeman with a sense of humor.
Ну, Брукенсфорд тоже неплохой на самом деле, но пока такой простенький, я бы сказал. В сравнении с Индианой. Единственное, тут пазл был, конечно, такой, прям, письмо, где буквы надо было составлять, или такое. Но вот из квестов... Ща... Есть Текс Мурфи, там, по-моему, 3 игры, я хз, что это такое. Ну, вроде как детектив. Потом... Санитариум. Фантасмагория. Короче, 7-й гость. В 7-м госте вроде как особенность в том, что там генерируется убийца, и каждый раз он новый, но это не точно. И еще ABC The Murder, это который по мотивам Агата Кристи, который с мультяшной этой стилистикой. О. Ну и все части Брокенсворда. Еще детектив Конан, когда-нибудь я его все-таки пройду. Вторую часть на Game Boy Color. Это вот если из квестов именно. Ну-ка, она мне скажет, куда идти? Я все прослушаю.
Come in.
Hello, George.
Фантасмагория и так далее, она...
What or where Montfaucon was.
Монфассон.
All I've got to go by is the name and a picture of a hanged man.
И так далее, оно в стиле Харвеста, если знаешь такую игру. Насколько мне рассказали.
Okay. Don't forget to look for Lobino.
Андро Лубине в музее Круз.
Okay. Shopping.
Just take...
Но его нету, этого Лубино, в музее. Я не знаю. Ну ладно. Ну, Харвест это по сути про человека, у которого амнезия, он просыпается в городе, но никто ничего... Ну и все думают, что он роклит, а он на самом деле ничего не помнит. И там, по сути, все люди, они с ума сходят, и есть некий сектантская организация, шатвы или типа того. И там происходит, типа, какая-нибудь наркомания. Или типа того. Ну, в общем, такой психоделичный, наверное, можно так сказать, квест. Именно в плане происходящих событий. А так там происходит все в реальном мире. Блин, а в музее Крунта мне делать нечего. В полицейский участок. Ну, давай в полицейский участок. Ну, можно с телефоном взаимодействовать, кстати. Это именно из квестов. Из JRPG и так далее, там непонятно. Там мать мущая. Мне бы сейв восстановить, а я все ленюсь. Потом мы так игру и не допрошли.
Have you heard of a man called Marquet?
Yes. He used to be known as the Mole of Montmartre. I heard he's been hospitalized, probably by one of his rivals.
Which hospital was Marquet taken to?
The Hagenmeyer Clinic. In the avenue des Hérissons.
Why was Marquet known as the Mole of Montmartre?
Because he lived in Montmartre, I suppose.
Yeah, but why the mole?
I don't know. Maybe he ruined people's lawns.
I'd like to report an assault.
Yes, monsieur? Where is the victim?
I'm the victim. I've been harassed by a pair of thugs.
I see. And where did this alleged assault take place?
Outside the Hotel Ubu. They stopped me as I was leaving and went through my pockets.
Could you describe the suspects, monsieur?
One looked like a gorilla, and the other looked like a weasel. Their names are Flap and Guido.
Bon. I'll get them this time.
Хорошее описание.
See you later, Sergeant.
Кстати, нету главного. Так, у меня должна больница открыться. Да. Вообще в игре очень мало игры, хотя люблю их, если игры заканчивается. Но Харвестон, он вообще на досе был. Насколько я помню. То есть эта игра довольно-таки старая. Вот. Но я в квестах вообще не мастак, я так сказать. Тупо список полистал, названия какие-то зацепил и типа записал. Дверь была заперта. Такой саспенс нагнал и вот так вот. И понял, что самая свежая игра, которая Duke Forever. О, блин, это капец как давно было.
Hi, my name's George Stobart. Really? If you wish to make an appointment, see the receptionist. I'm looking for a guy named Jacques Marquet. In which department does he work? He doesn't. He's a patient. I see. You do realize there are strict policies regarding visiting hours, don't you? This is important. I have to talk to Marquet urgently. We make no exceptions to the rules. It's a matter of life and death. The well-oiled running of this hospital is a matter of life and death. That's why we have rules. I think I ought to warn you that Marquet is not what he seems. Explain yourself. He's in league with a bunch of guys who want to take over the world. Nonsense. Besides, Marquet's employers have paid in advance for one of our most exclusive private rooms. Could you tell me who Marquet's employers are? Certainly not. Do you recognize the man in this photograph? No, sir, I do not.
Ну-ка, блин. Я видел Ubisoft. Меня все еще волнует вопрос. Они действительно эту игру делали или нет? Или они были издателем? Revolution Software, бла-бла-бла, бла-бла. Ну-ка, Resolve Software. Чем они знамениты? Ага, только Broken Sword'ами как раз таки. И еще Люр они сделали, которая имела успех. Another Sky. Да, у них издатель Ubisoft. Неплохо. Ну-ка, когда последняя часть вышла? Интересно. Последняя часть вышла в 2018 году на свече, на плойке 4 в 2015. Норм. Да, причем я в эту игру взял в магазине, в котором работал, и диски продавал на первом-втором курсе Music Star. Неплохо.
Thanks for your help.
А потом... Так, подожди.
Yes, sir?
Если это был...
Hagenmeyer Clinic?
That's correct.
I thought I was in a garden center.
Oh, the plants. They were my idea. A little greenery to evoke the spirit of nature. How may I help you?
Если это был магазин, то там поди все диски в пленочках были, типа лицензия. И раз ты взял, то типа ты не распакуешь и обратно не вернешь. Хоп-хоп, на халяву сыграл, положил.
I'm here to see Jacques Marquet.
Oh, yes. Are you related to our client, sir?
Yeah, I'm his, long-lost brother.
Что-то неубедительная ложь.
With a different name and an American accent.
Yeah, people always say that. I blame Mom. We were separated at an early age. After a mix-up in the nursery at the Oakland shopping mall.
I've never heard anything so ridiculous in all my life.
I guess not. So, do I get to see Marquet before the funeral?
That attitude will get you nowhere. My instructions were quite clear. No one gets to see Marquet. So unless you can prove you're a relative or a close acquaintance, you're wasting your time here.
Я близкий друг.
Has Marquet been visited by a man?
Ты почему он спрашивает
Oh, no.
не про человека со шрамом, а про человека в клоуне? В костюме клоуна.
There's Theodore the bear. He comes every Thursday to entertain the children. Personally, I think he scares them half to death in that crummy old bear suit. If I was stuck on my back with tubes in every orifice, he's the last person I'd want to see.
Has Marquet had a visit from a pair of gangsters?
I should hope not. Can you describe them?
A thin guy who looks like a weasel and his friend, the gorilla.
Sounds as if they escaped from the zoo.
Have you seen this man here at the clinic?
No, sir.
Так, наверное...
Look at this ID pass.
So you're Merlin. Marquet's been asking for you.
For me?
Yes. He was shouting your name when they brought him in here. Now, let me see.
Easy.
He was on Ward B12, as I recall. Oh, he's being transferred to... Oh, dear. He's on Ward J2.
А здесь нету таких.
Nurse Grendel's ward.
Ты Грендел? Ну, продавалась нормальные или сухоразбавленные пади.
What's so bad about Nurse Grendel?
She runs that ward like a South American prison.
Keeping a well-disciplined ward isn't a crime, is it?
Well disciplined. In the discipline and punishment stakes, she'd whip the butt off the Marquis de Sade. Everything, I mean everything, is done to a strict routine. 6 o'clock alarm call, 6:10 bowel movements, and woe betide anyone who doesn't have a result. Those patients of hers are like Pavlova's dogs.
She sounds like a real nightmare.
And then some.
А как туда попасть?
If Nurse Grendel is that bad, how come the authorities tolerate her?
She's like part of the furniture.
I was beginning to get the picture. This woman was jealous, with a big green capital J. How do I find Nurse Grendel's ward?
Down the corridor on the left, turn right at the senior consultant's washroom. Right again at the executive coffee lounge. Bear left past the administrator's sauna. And turn left at the end. That's J2. And good luck.
Дайте угадать, сейчас будет лабиринт, да? Стоп, я могу пойти направо, но что-то мне надо налево, ну да ладно.
I saw the source of the hellish noise which echoed through the corridors. It was an industrial polishing machine with an odd-looking guy in tow.
Блин, можно мне отсюда уйти, пожалуйста? А, то есть неважно, куда я Понятно. Пожалуйста.
What's that?
I said hello.
Oh, hiya.
I'd like to talk to you.
Не включай ее.
That's what I thought you said. Don't look so down in the mouth. No matter how bad things seem, I never let life get on top of me.
Oh, yeah? What's your secret?
Why, it's easy. All you have to do is smile and whistle this little tune.
You know what? If you start whistling, I'll bust you in the teeth.
It's a deal.
Do you know where I'd find a patient called Marquet?
No, I'm not allowed on the wards with Mr. Shiny.
Have you seen any unsavory characters lurking about in the corridors?
No, sir, I haven't, but I've got nothing to worry about. What's that, Mr. Shiny? You'd take good care of the rascals, I'll bet you would. With a friend like him, I've no fear of oppressors.
It must be a great comfort.
He is.
Would Mr. Shiny be your polishing machine by any chance?
Please, don't call him that. He's more of a friend than a machine. I've had Mr. Shiny for 3 years, and he's never let me down once.
How come you got so attached to a polishing machine?
I asked you not to call him that. He's got a name, you know.
Yeah, Mr. Shiny. It's just that...
You think it's odd, don't you? I don't mind. The rest of the staff think I'm twisted. I heard them snorking behind me back when I gave Mr. Shiny his weekly pull-through.
Do you recognize...
No?
No, but I...
No, sir.
Наверное, нет смысла. Блин, я сейчас выключу его. Я спасу.
The connector in the socket supply...
Блин, ее нельзя отключить. Стоп, тут есть дверь какая-то.
Hey now, you can't go in there.
How come?
I'm responsible for the contents of that cupboard.
А, я понял. А, и теперь я могу не осматривать. Ну, короче, ты берешь, отключаешь и в кладовку.
The polishing machine coughed, spluttered, and died.
Блин, там было сказано and die, но...
Mr. Shiny, what's wrong, pal?
Быстрее, быстрее, воруй, грабь. Ну чего ты стоишь? А почему не может вот так вот пройти? Блин, драгоценное время потратил. Ладно. Окей, мы сейчас с доктором, видимо, будем прикидываться.
Good afternoon, Doctor.
Oh, hi. Is this Ward J2?
Yes, sir. The patients are ready for your inspection, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse.
You'll need this, Doctor.
Что, он даст нам клизму? Или что?
She gave me a long, narrow metal box and a stunning smile. Thanks.
Could you take a look at the client in bed number 3 now? His name is Eric Sopmarsh.
Do you have a patient named Marquet on this ward?
Oui, monsieur. He is in the private room at the end of the ward. He has been placed in strict isolation.
Главное держаться
Clowns
уверенно.
on the ward?
Why, yes, we do. A professional clown.
I'll bet he lightens the place up.
Hardly. Monsieur Boissy has been in a coma for the last 3 months.
Хороший клоун.
What's wrong with Boissy?
He was involved in a very nasty accident. A silly stunt involving a unicycle. His current condition is due to post-traumatic shock. It's unlikely he'll ever perform as a clown again.
It's an ill wind that blows nobody any good. Why is Marquet in quarantine?
If you wish to know more, you'll have to speak to Herr Hagenmeier. All I know is that Marquet's room is strictly out of bounds.
Do you know who paid for Marquet's room?
No, of course I don't.
Preferential treatment like that must cost an arm and a leg.
That's not my concern, monsieur.
Да, главное держаться уверенно. Подожди, а что такое?
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
А,
It was a device used
прибор для измерения давления.
Doctor!
What is it?
You haven't taken my blood pressure.
Блин, он что, не знает, как это делается?
Seems fine to me.
You're not doing it right.
Of course I am.
No, you're not. Dr. Monroe never did it like that.
I can't take a satisfactory reading while you're excited like this. I'll come back later.
А, он его обхитрил.
Hello,
Who are you?
My name is Dr. Stobart, and I'm here to steer you down the rocky road to recovery.
Dr. Monroe said there was no cure for what I've got.
Your problem is you stayed in bed too long.
Нельзя мерить давление, когда ты нервничаешь.
Qualified doctor.
You better believe it. What can you tell me about Marquet?
He's the man in the private room, isn't he? That room was mine before I was tossed out like a common squatter.
Do you know what's wrong with Marquet?
They won't even say what's wrong with me. Tell me, Doctor, what's your opinion?
It's too early to say.
But I've been here for 3 months.
What's your impression of Nurse Grendel?
She's a very efficient young woman.
Efficient? You make her sound like a vacuum cleaner.
I've no complaints.
The woman in reception described Nurse Grendel as a monster.
Да.
Well, that's
Что-то
not true.
много шуток стало
She's
тут.
quite strict, but that's her job, isn't it? You've got to have discipline in a place like this.
Слишком много
I'm going to
шуток.
take your blood pressure.
Why?
I'm a doctor. It's my job.
Ну теперь ты нормально ему измеришь? Нет. Понятно. Привет, Аникс. В смысле, мы играем в нормальные игры? Чё началось?
No way. I'll come back. Pardon me, nurse.
Oui, monsieur?
What is this device?
It's for taking the patient's blood pressure, doctor.
И все?
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
В смысле, нормально? Чем тебя квесты не угодили? Ну-ка, ну-ка.
What now? You did.
Я не хочу измерять тебе давление. А, но у меня теперь не пропустят. То есть я должен научиться это делать. Угу. Как мне научиться измерять давление?
I'll come back.
В это никто не играет, где экшон? О,
Pardon me, nurse.
Oui, monsieur.
ясно, понятно.
Do you know Merlin of Gruber Electronics?
No, I don't.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, I don't.
Хорошее объяснение, хорошее.
Would you like to shake?
Well...
No, it's okay. Forget it.
Блин, а мне почти удалось
Au revoir, monsieur.
электрическая штука руку пожать. Не, это самый первый Broken Sword. Может, ощущение какое-то? Да я что-то сомневаюсь. О, вот доктор, кстати, какой-то появился. Такого не помнишь? Ну хз, это, короче, директор скат самой первой части, типа.
Hi, my name's George Stobar.
Yes, sir? Pleased to meet you, sir.
Типа
Call me
тут...
George if you like.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's my name.
My name's Benoit, but everyone calls me Bunny.
Bunny?
That's right. I used to have this cute habit when I was a kid.
Keep it to yourself, Benoit.
Ну, тут, насколько я знаю, за женщин добавили новые эти финтифлюшки сюжетные. А вот было ли вот это, я хз. Ну, может, что-нибудь перерисовали, да. Я не в курсе особо.
Do you know anything about a patient named Marquet?
No, sir, I don't know much about any of the patients.
I've never met a doctor who admits that he's only human.
I'm only a trainee, sir. I'm sure I'll get the hang of things.
Я просто как глупенький ребенок пошел в этот в ремастер. Ну, можешь погуглить. Может, ты просто забыл. Я хз. Хотя, может, ты недавно играл. Откуда мне знать?
Do you know the nurse on Ward J2?
No, monsieur. This is my first day here. I can't wait to get my hands dirty. I was talking about treating my first patient, of course. I didn't mean to get my hands dirty with a nurse.
Shut up, Benoit.
Okay, sir.
Here, take this pressure gauge.
Thank you, sir. What do you want me to do with it?
Well, keep it safe until I think of something.
И чего?
Do you recognize?
No, miss.
See you later.
Хорошо помню, там такого не было. Окей. Окей. Значит, добавили. Но у меня типа больше нет измерительного прибора. Я от него избавился. Он меня теперь пропустит? Или он скажет, эй, а мне нечем мерить. Ну в смысле?
Quiet? You're disturbing the other patients.
I'll keep quiet when you've taken my blood pressure properly.
I have to see Jacques Marquet first.
How come he gets preferential treatment? It's because he's got money, isn't it?
I'll come back when you've dealt with that chip on your
А до этого он не мог сказать то же самое ему и просто пройти? Я не знаю, какого она года. Ну, ты весишь меня. Ну, вообще, да, примерно этого. Пойдем доктору скажем, чтобы он у него измерения померил. Ну, на первой сценке, да, в нее играли многие. Ну, по крайней мере, Саб играл и Ламинеги. Но у нее есть много переизданий. Вот переиздание, оно 2009 года, 2010, 2012, 2013. В 2013 мы его на Linux издали. А оригинал вышел в Северной Америке в 96-м году. Ну как и в Европе. На PlayStation в 96-м году, в Северной Америке на PlayStation в 98-м. На Game Boy Advance ее зачем-то переиздавали. А еще на Nintendo DS, по-моему, есть этот Enchanted. Ой, не Enchanted, а Director Cut. Ну-ка, Director Cut, он есть на Wii, на DS, iOS, Android. Ну да. Короче, как-то так. Ну, мне она не попадалась на первой плойке. Все там... кстати, здесь еще смерти это убрали. Но вот здесь был момент с козлом. Ты просто берешь и отодвигаешь штуку, и как бы все. И можешь пройти вниз. Я хз, как там было в оригинале. Да в смысле? Я поговорить хочу.
Hey, Benoit!
Yes, sir?
Do you still have that gauge I gave you?
Yes. What do you want me to do with it?
Keep it safe until I think of something.
Да в смысле ты придумаешь что-то? Иди и измерь давление.
That's a good idea, sir.
How come?
Dermatitis.
I don't have dermatitis.
I do.
See you later.
Ладно, может быть, с женщиной надо поговорить?
Hi, I'm Dr. Stobart.
Короче, хз как на плойке, но здесь пока все очень просто. На время было.
Excuse me, sir.
Блин, мне надо заценить самому, чтобы понять, как это было.
You must be the new boy.
Yeah, I must be.
Well, stop wandering about and make yourself useful. Bernie, come here, boy. This is Benoit, my nephew. Can I trust you to look after him?
Да.
He's fresh out of medical school. It will open his eyes to see a real doctor on the job.
I'll bet.
Show him around. Let him see South.
Пусть увидит настоящую боль. Да он за мной теперь? Эй, Бенуа, ну иди сюда. Стоп, куда он пропал? Она же в палату, что ли, бежал? Чтобы ты с одной стороны боднули, потом быстро бежать. Даже так? Не знаю, я тут просто деревяшку тыкнул, как бы все было. Может, на первой плойке там такое возможно было?
Yes. What do you want me to do with it?
Use it on Eric Sopmarsh.
Okay.
Изи. На время серьезно. Блин, ну это как-то странно, да. Типа, зачем козлу пинать себя? Ну, типа, догадаться до этого можно было бы, если бы оно так там было. Просто меня этот козел тут не пинал.
I'm Dr. Stobart.
Bonjour, doctor.
Have you heard of a guy called Marquet?
He's in quarantine, doc.
Хотя, будь я маленьким,
Marquet is just the man I wanted to see.
ему-то тоже надо задуматься.
If I was you, he has anthrax.
I have to visit my patient.
What for?
Routine. I have to check he's still breathing.
What if he's not?
I'll sign the certificate and register his bed as vacant.
That's a cold and distant attitude to death.
Well, I've been institutionalized to the point of godlike aloofness.
The white coat suits you.
Thanks.
Но мои умения в квестах в детстве ограничивались прохождением в Сибири второй, по-моему. Или нет, там, где было аббатство или типа того. Нет, по-моему, первое. И Still Life'ом. Мист дропнут. И больше в квесты я не играл, наверное.
Have you seen any suspicious characters on the ward?
Ну, короче, я хазаникс. В детстве я бы, наверное, тоже не догадался.
No. This was a tatty old bear.
How was the bear acting suspiciously?
Well, he was wearing a homburg.
Is that against the law?
No, but it's pretty weird for a bear.
Атлантида? Я хз, что за Атлантида. Я только знаю мультик диснеевский про Атлантиду. А, нет, стоп, его нету. Или да, или нет. Так, есть остров сокровищ. Да, про Атлантиду тоже есть мультик. Угу.
Catch you later, officer.
Au revoir, doc.
Ну, я думаю, ты в другую Атлантиду играл. Подожди, а почему он побитый?
Marquet?
Yes, I am Marquet. I've been expecting you.
You have?
Well, what are you waiting for? Get it over with.
I just want to know what I should do with the gem.
Давай, Аникс.
Our gem.
Yeah, right here in my pocket.
I thought you were one of the assassin.
Not me. I never inhaled.
So, you were sent in my place?
Yeah. You could hardly make the trip to Ireland in your condition. What should I do with the gem?
Deliver it to the Grandmaster. Quickly tell him that I have found the tripod. Right here in Paris.
You have it?
Not yet, but it's being taken care of. I hired a couple of stooges with a flair for petty crime.
Would that be Flap and Guido by any chance?
You know them as for Gloucester. He has gone off to Syria on a wild goose chase.
В музей играл? Воровка прошлое переносила? Давай-ка и на нее ссылку.
About the location of the...
That's enough excitement for one day, Monsieur Marquet. What are you doing here?
Talking to this patient, of course.
Monsieur Marquet is my patient. If Herr Hagenmeyer was to hear that...
Okay, I'm going. I'd learned all I could from Marquet anyhow.
There you are, sir. I was just coming to look for you. I finished with your pressure gauge.
Thanks, Bunny.
What's that noise? It sounds as if someone's having a cardiac arrest.
It's all right. The doctor's in there with him.
Are you sure he was a doctor?
Oui, monsieur. He showed me his ID. It was Dr. Braille.
There's no Dr. Braille working here.
He's an imposter!
Па-па-пам.
The door's locked. Help me, officer.
Stand back, monsieur.
Блин, двери же они не так выбиваются. Ну ладно. Возвращение в квартиру Ника.
Hello, George.
А вы не хотите остаться на допрос, типа, как свидетель того, что пришел доктор, показания дать, нет?
I found Jacques Marquet.
Did he talk?
Yeah, he talked. For the very last time.
He's dead.
Yeah, killed in cold blood by a bogus doctor.
That's despicable. What kind of guy would pass himself off as a doctor and take advantage of a dying man? Was it Khan?
No, I don't know who he was, but it certainly wasn't Khan. He got away, out the window. Have you ever heard of the Hashi-Ashin?
No.
Marquet said that they were his biggest enemy.
His biggest enemy was the bogus doctor.
Don't remind me. That guy was evil. He had wild, staring eyes like a dead fish. I'll never trust a doctor again. Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves.
Блин, а зачем мне еще эта фиговина-то?
I guess I'd better go back and talk to that weirdo.
Which one, Rousseau or Sergeant Mu? Oh, but you're referring to Andre.
I'll let you work it out.
А я не помню, с кем надо поговорить. Ну ладно. Музей Крун. О, новый человек.
I beg your pardon. Are you Andre Lobineau?
That's me. You want my autograph?
О, неплохо.
No, I was told you may be able to help me. Help? My name is George Stobart. I'd like your professional opinion.
Well, okay. Shoot.
Does the name Montfaucon mean anything to you?
Sure. It was the most grisly spectacle in Paris until the Revolution.
A public toilet?
Montfaucon was the place of execution for many thousands. A dark temple of death, with row upon row of arches, each one framing a grim exhibit. Scores of rotting corpses swung on creaking rope, while the crows devoured their flesh.
That explains the image of the hanged man. I found a reference to Montfaucon in Ireland, in a village called Lochmarn.
Lochmarn? That's where Pegram was digging.
That's right. He'd left the excavation before I arrived. Do you know Pegram well?
Not really. I met him at a conference. I would have liked to talk to him in depth, but I didn't have time.
When was this?
Oh, back in the summer, July, I think.
I'd like your opinion on a medieval manuscript.
Vraiment? Do you have it with you?
No, it's too fragile. And besides, there are certain people who'd stop at
Да, мог бы ссылки на Википедии кинуть. Я бы потом бы посмотрел бы геймплей.
There isn't much. Only a few Latin phrases. I was kind of hoping you'd help decipher the pictures.
Without seeing the manuscript, that's a tall order.
Just tell me one thing. What does the image of 2 men riding on the same horse suggest to you?
The Knights Templar. Does the Templar seal appear on this manuscript? I'd love to see that for myself.
The manuscript is being looked after by a friend.
In Paris?
Yeah. Not far from here, in fact.
Well, just give me the address and I'll come round and take a look.
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe I should check with her first.
A female friend?
Yeah, she's a woman. This friend who has the manuscript?
Oui, the anonymous girlfriend.
She lives at 361 Rue Jarry.
Ah, I know it well. I'll drop by.
Ну, зря он адреса дает, кому попало.
Can you tell me anything about the Knights Templar?
I sure can, Georgie. Soldiers, diplomats, mercenaries, monks, bankers, you name it, the Templars fit the bill. The greatest fighting force in Christendom, the militia of Christ.
Jeez. How did the Templars get their name?
From the building in which they set up their headquarters. The King of Jerusalem gave them part of a mosque on the Temple Mount. It was said to have been the site of the original Temple of Solomon. The order became known first as the Knights of the Temple, and later as the Knights Templar.
You're a mine of information, Andre.
Glad to be of help, Georgie.
How come the Templars became so wealthy?
There was a constant stream of new recruits to their ranks, many from noble families. They were required to swear a sacred oath of poverty, chastity, and obedience. So, their money, goods, and lands were donated to the order. The Templars soon held land in France, Scotland, England, Spain, most of Europe, in fact. The poor Knights of Christ became the wealthiest power in Christendom.
Is it true the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found?
Who knows? So little knowledge of what really happened remains. Or, if it does, the truth has never been made public.
What do you mean by that?
The Templars have attained mythological status, like the King Arthur of the Britons. There are people even now who say the Templars still exist.
Do you think that's likely?
No, not for a minute.
I think you ought to know that the tripod is going to be stolen.
The Lochman tripod? No.
It's true. I can give you a description of the thieves.
Before the supposed event has taken place?
I heard them planning the raid.
They're wasting their time. The tripod is protected by a state-of-the-art alarm system.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you.
А про воровку?
Why don't you loan the tripod
Можешь
for
кинуть?
safekeeping?
А то заинтриговал.
But don't you trust me?
It's not a question of trust, George. That tripod is hundreds of years old and extremely fragile.
I get your point. Have you ever heard of the Hashashin?
Why, yes, it was a radical Muslim sect whose name became synonymous with murder. It was formed in 11th century Persia, shortly before the Crusades.
At roughly the same time as the Templars.
Yes, they gave a new word to our language, Assassini, the assassins.
How did the assassins get their name?
From the legends surrounding the secrets of their initiation rite.
Вообще, на английской Википедии есть список всех квестов, плюс-минус. Может быть, там вспомнишь название?
He awoke to find himself in a fabulous garden with everything he could wish for. The freshest water, the most delicious food, the choicest hash, and the most delectable women imaginable.
Cool. Do you have the address?
I haven't finished the story. There was a price to pay for this taste of paradise.
Wouldn't you just know it?
The young man would wake the next day to find himself back in the real world. He was told that he'd been given a glimpse of the heaven reserved for holy martyrs. A heaven he would enjoy for eternity if he was willing to join the Hashashin.
Не, я вообще такого не знаю. Поэтому я заинтересовался.
Well, as I explained, the new recruits would be only too willing to die for the cause. They'd be instructed in the use of the dagger, poisons, and disguise. Then, the Grand Master of the sect would name an enemy...
Блин, мне в голову пришел... Вельвет какой-то там, но то не квест, то стелс.
Does the cult of the assassins still exist?
Take a look around at the world today.
И там не Лувр.
Where was the site of Montfaucon?
To the northeast, near the Canal Saint-Martin, but there's nothing there now. The old gibbet was torn down during the Revolution.
What do you make of this?
It's the biggest gemstone I've ever seen. Where did you get it?
From Professor Pegram's messenger boy.
Did Pegram find this on his dig?
Yeah, the site where this was found was a Templar castle. Do you think it could be part of the Templar treasure?
No, I shouldn't think so. You're not one of those crazies who think the Templars still exist, are you?
А, они существуют.
Well, I try to keep an open mind on the matter. Does the guy in this photograph look familiar to you?
No.
Thanks for your help.
You're welcome.
Музей Крун. Подожди, а Монфасон, это вот это вот. Где виселица была.
Excuse me, officer. What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. Only that they were excommunicated in 1312 and hanged in their dozens within this very square.
Boy, what they teach in the police academy these days.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
Shouldn't you be off directing traffic or something?
You have seen the Parisian traffic, no?
Yeah, so?
I could direct the traffic. The most dangerous, the east side of Rome. Or I can sit here and enjoy the sun, the architecture, and the Sauvignon. Which would you choose?
Yeah, but I'm not a policeman. What happened to duty?
An excellent question, monsieur.
Have you seen this man before?
No.
I believe him to be...
Oh,
is that all you can...
I did wonder if I should say, but it...
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur.
Что-то пока он бесполезен.
In French, English, and German. In 1312, Pope Clement V dissolved the knightly order of the Templars and excommunicated its members on charges of heresy. In the following 2 years, many of the knights were hanged on this site. Their Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burnt at the stake on an island in the Seine. I couldn't open it with...
Ей. Понятно. Нам нельзя. Ну, это фиговина у нас на все случаи жизни. А, Still Life? Так она, во-первых, не воровка. Во-первых, не музей Лувр. А, ты, в смысле, нашел еще. Да, это я знаю. Still Life я проходил. В смысле, еще, это не про воровку. Да. Я понял. Я слово еще неправильно истрактовал. От слова совсем. Я вторую часть Лайфа не прошел. Там она меня что-то, по-моему, сбаговала, то ли еще что-то. Я так не знал, кто убийца, к сожалению. Не, в смысле, в Still Life нету музея, то бишь нету Лувра. Если я как-то по-другому выразился, то это не то, что я имел в виду.
A knight, there in the company of his fellows. Biblical references engraved into the tomb edge to guide his way to the next world. I guess. I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. A stone knight lay in full stone armor, blank eyes looking at the ceiling. Carrying all that armor around must have been hard work. A stone... I wondered if this... A scroll was a symbol of scholarship. I knew that much. A scholarly knight. That rang a bell. A very Spanish bell. On the end of the staff was some kind of disc with a cross on it. Around the base of the disc was a hairline crack. Well, I could have just taken the end off the staff, but I wanted to be sure what I'd be getting out of vandalizing a church, other than deported.
А что в таком случае делать?
On the end of the...
Типа камень ставить? А куда? Непонятно куда. Опять гипсом что-то зафигачить? Ну, тоже навряд ли, на самом деле.
On the end of the... On the end... I could per discipline. Sounds pretty.
Подожди, чего?
Disciplinum meum lux videbus.
А, правило
Bit of a
3
stained glass
касаний.
window. Wow. Hoping for a big insight while squinting through a hunk of statuary had been pretty optimistic, I guess. On the end of the staff, somehow it looked more per discipline.
Что я могу увидеть такого?
Stained glass window. Wow. Hoping for a big insight while squinting through a hunk of statuary.
А, он указывает вниз пальцем. Ага, вот под этой статуей. Типа вниз, типа вот. Но там же нельзя ничего тыкнуть.
A stone. I didn't recognize the.
Ну во, он вниз указывает. Ну, очевидно, ну игра, ну что с тобой не так?
A night there.
А чем мне понравился триггер просмотра в трубу?
I didn't.
То ли лор, то ли музей. И ссылка на Википедию, коль название вспомнил. Так.
A stone knight.
Или нет? Типа он 4-й, и он указывает, что 4-й снизу, типа 4-й он. Значит, тут должно быть что-то, правильно? А в смысле?
Per disciplinum meum lux videbus. A bit of a stain. Hope had.
Ну он вниз указывает.
On the end of the staff. I didn't have time.
И чё я мог не нажать? Старик ушел хоть с кофеем? Нет, все ж тут. А, может быть он оказывает под землей. Мне надо в канализацию. Старик мне мешает, его надо как-то прогнать.
Would you like to shake? I stopped myself barely in time. Electrocuting a cop would not have been smart. They'd rebuild the Bastille just so they could throw me in and throw away the key. What do you think of this?
A blood pressure sleeve.
Look at this gem. What do you think?
Hot glass.
No, it's not. It's for real.
What kind of madman would go around waving a priceless gem under people's noses?
So either it's glass or I'm mad? I didn't like to think about that for too long. What do you make of this Greek?
Delightful. Would you?
Hell no.
Then please.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
The pattern looks Middle Eastern.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
Господи, ну и названица. Спасибо. Чё у нас с винтовкой? Ладно, я потом посмотрю. Так. Да, я понимаю почему. Так, кафе. Ружари. Но мне надо разобраться с тем местом.
No, monsieur.
Okay.
Вообще я могу треногу своровать.
Hi, Andre. Hello, Georgie. Thanks for your help on. You're welcome.
Подожди, что это происходит? Что это был за...
Pardon me.
Oui, monsieur?
Can you give me any further info?
Certainly, monsieur. That...
What do you mean?
It is...
Ну, одно и то же
Do you
говорит.
know anything about...
Not... It is the...
And
They assume.
Whereas you know...
Of course, not...
Thanks for...
Короче, у меня появилась идея. Если я правильно понимаю, то надо подождать, пока он повернется спиною. То есть где-то вот тут вот окажется, я залез в саркофаг, дождусь ночи, украду треногу. Вот сейчас он спиной повернут. Нет, он смотрит на меня.
Leave it and...
А в смысле? Не, залезай, давай. Не подсматривай.
Don't eat... You'll be so...
I always wondered how it felt.
Тогда... Ну, можно пойти на... Возвращение в квартиру Ника.
Hello, George. Oh, by the way, I had a visit from André Lobineau.
Oh, yeah. I hope you didn't mind me giving him your address.
Not at all. It was lovely to see him again. He was over the moon when I showed him the manuscript. It's not often he gets that excited. He made a sketch of the knight's crest to take back to the museum. I believe he's identified the family who bear that crest.
I sure hope so. Let's take another look at the manuscript.
Блин, не, я не хочу. Выпустите меня. Я не хочу смотреть на манускрипт.
There's between... And the night through... There's... But the...
Слава
Do you think
богу.
the assassin was responsible?
I don't think so. Besides...
He was pumped... He wouldn't have recognized... I'd better get back...
Так, он сделал отпечатки в музее. Может быть, он уже узнал о том, чей герб. Cool Monkeys.
Hi, Andre.
По-моему, это какая-то плохая игра.
Hello,
если
Georgie.
Я правильно
I
помню.
visited Nicole's apartment.
Ну, чего она уходила?
She told me you came by.
Ooh, quite a fine Georgie boy. I didn't expect anything quite so sexy.
I hope you're referring to the manuscript.
Oui, of course.
What did you make of the manuscript?
It dates from the time of the Crusades.
We guessed that from the Templar seal.
It's a story and pictures like a modern-day comic book.
What story does the manuscript tell?
I don't know. It was probably produced for the tourist market.
Tourists?
Oh, oui, pilgrims in their thousands on their way to Jerusalem. The tourist
А,
market
я
is
понял.
nothing new, you know.
Да, это
It's
плохая
been
игра.
around for centuries. Ever since Joshua made a packet selling souvenir bricks from the walls of Jericho.
По крайней мере, мне такое не нравится. Это же как он.
There's very little I can be sure about.
Наверху до продолжения или типа того.
A reference to Mithras.
Who's he?
A Persian god, almost as popular as Christ at one time. The only thing I can be sure of is the knight. He's Spanish.
How can you tell that?
The writing on the shield, the reference to Ave Maria. No self-respecting knight from Northern Europe would have
Не, я
worn
такое
a
не люблю
coat
стримить, ты
like
чего?
that.
Мне нравится, когда и квесты, они приземленные к нашей
Can
Can
реальности.
you identify the knight's coat of arms?
I already did, Georgie. He's a member of the De Vasconcelos family from the Costa Calida.
Were they famous?
No.
They're not mentioned after the 15th century. Oh. The spotlight of history moved on. They are probably not...
Не, я люблю игры, которые не заставляют тебя гореть.
Thanks for your help, Andre. You're welcome.
Hello, George.
Is there something going on between you and Labino?
What business is it of yours? We agreed all this.
Но это не значит, что мне такое нравится стримить. Нет.
So get off my
Я в
case.
поисках. Я в поисках.
I don't. Besides,
He was pumped to the... He wouldn't have recognized... I'd better get back...
Ну и что я стримлю? Я ищу игры, в которые было бы мне интересно играть. И кто виноват в том, что они кривые заставляют меня гореть? Я, что ли? Откуда я могу об этом знать заранее, не поиграв? Ниоткуда. Про Skull Mountains я знаю, что я сгорю, мне оно не нравится, и стилистически не нравится. Потому что, во-первых, это продолжение Неверхуда, в который я не играл, и т.д. и т.п. Мне более нравятся приземленные вещи, когда дело касается кода. Типа, так что твоя отговорка, она, ну, вообще не канает. Блин, а толку от того, что он рассказал про род? Ну, типа, он сейчас скажет фразу, что вот это она связана с манускриптом и... Поймет, что надо внизу? Бывает, Аникс, бывает.
A scroll was a symbol of a scholar. I could see that what per this sounds...
Звучит довольно знакомо.
A bit of a stained glass window. Wow. Hoping for a big insight while squinting through a hunk of...
Да что не так с тобой? Ну вниз. Я не понимаю, что мне надо делать.
A stone knight lay at the end of a row of 4. I wondered if this guy had died in combat.
Меня загрузили информацию про тамплиеров, и я выбыл из колеи.
Blank eyes looking at the ceiling. Carrying all that armor around must have been hard work.
Что-то трещины говорили в посохе.
On the end of the staff was around the base of the disc was a hairline crack. Well, I could have just taken the end off, but I wanted to be sure what I'd be getting other than deported. I didn't recognize the biblical... Somehow it looked more...
Не, я в своем хламе в коробках помню внезапно. У меня там есть даже игра на пегу под названием Капитан Дрейк. Это что-то вроде типа черного плаща, только про утку. На пеку. И там надо яйца было собирать. И весит там, по-моему, 200 мегабайт. Что делать надо?
Excuse me, officer. What do you know about the Knights?
They don't...
Boy,
No,
shouldn't you be off directing traffic or something? Yeah, so?
I could... which...
Yeah. I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
Мне нужна тренога, по сути. И что надо сделать в храме, правильно? Это что такое? Стоп, нам уже нельзя ее открывать. Типа... О, квиктайм ивент на время. Окей. А что теперь?
It is closing time, Monsieur Lobino.
Already, there just aren't enough hours in the day.
А,
Then
ну
enough for
понятно.
me. I can't wait to get home and put my feet up.
Eh bien, see you tomorrow.
Good night,
Хм.
Monsieur.
Ну хотя да, так, когда он тут ходил бы, он бы меня увидел. Стоп, это кто еще такой? А, это, который нас обыскивать решили.
Quit fooling around, you moron! Get your ass over here and bring that flashlight.
У меня есть насос. Не, подожди, это... Так, давай-ка я сохранюсь. Мне не нравится это место. Stealth action?
What the? Who's there?
Let's get out of here!
Опасный. Ого. Это Ника была?
And when I woke up, I was at the police station. Luckily, I managed to persuade Rosso I was innocent.
Poor George.
What a mess.
Блин, он еще и кристалл с собой таскал. Поди
I
украли.
don't think so. You made a pretty good job of distracting those two crooks.
Yeah, but the killer got away with the tripod.
No, he didn't. He's not the only one who can dress up in costume.
Это она была, понятно.
You mean it was you who stole the tripod? Oh, hell, Nico. I could have been shot.
Those dogs are more likely to shoot their own feet.
I just wish you'd told me your plans. We're supposed to be in this together. And how come you dressed up like a pantomime cat?
Don't sulk, Georgie, please.
Oh, rats.
Да, по-моему, самый
And don't call me
обыкновенный.
Georgie.
Oh, I really thought you'd be pleased. After all, we've got the tripod.
Just how long have you known Labino?
Не лезь.
We met at
А,
college.
ну все-таки
He was
расскажет.
around when I was a fresh air. Showed me around, that sort of thing.
You never told me that before. I thought he was just a working acquaintance.
So he is. I rarely see him these days. You know, he hasn't changed much. A little lesser at the front, perhaps. I'd forgotten how much fun he could be.
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
А в смысле на манускрипт? А что?
There between the night through my
А что теперь должен сделать-то?
there's but the I'd better get back to the quest.
Ну, окей. Переногу с собою. А я могу объединить их?
Maybe not.
А в смысле к расследованию? Музей Крум? Ну, надо вернуться, наверное, на место преступления. Ты что, дурак, что ли? Что ты делаешь? Ну, трясешь.
Hi, Andre. Hello, Georgie. I'd like to shake you by the hand.
Not now.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
А почему оно не закрылось, это место? Да здесь все-таки есть что еще сделать.
The glass case was intact, but the tripod had been...
Может быть, он мне что-нибудь расскажет?
Do you know anything? No, it does.
Понятно.
You don't know it. It was. It taught me the bottom row.
Why don't you
do it?
Thanks for your help.
Может быть, мне тренога нужна для... Ну, короче, да. Тут изменилось. Так, давай-ка я опять сохранюсь. Так. А с клоуном не хочешь поговорить?
Hey, you with the balls.
Oui?
How did you learn to be a juggler?
Juggler? What is this juggler?
It's you. You juggle, that makes you a juggler.
Фигли... Господи.
Jongleur? What's that?
Mon Dieu! A jongleur is an artist, a master of the contragravitic aerobatic mysteries. In centuries past, the courts of the crowned heads of Europe had the jongleurs, witty, erudite men to whom the monarchs turned in their hours of need.
Wait a minute, wait. Let me get this straight. Our enemies are at the borders, plague ravages the land, and the peasants are revolting.
Блин, он чем-то похож на историка из музея.
I don't think so.
That juggling doesn't look so difficult.
Oh, it does not, does it not? Perhaps you feel you could do better, no?
I'll give it a try.
Be my guest.
Так.
I had no idea what I was doing.
Я тоже не знаю, что он творит.
So how difficult could it be? A lot more difficult than I thought. That's how difficult.
И чего?
Still, it was my big chance to be derided by complete strangers.
Not so easy after all, is it?
No, I guess not.
Ну-ка, я могу все еще? Понятно.
Hi again.
Блин, я все еще вспоминаю тот момент, где надо было толкнуть женщину под ножи в Индиане. Жаль, что тут нет такого взаимодействия. Я бы жонглера просто бы передвинул до люка, а сам бы за ним бы поднял его. Еще один чтец табличек. Я понял. Так, ну ладно, пойдем в храм. О, вот этого еще не было. Что-то стан подлить. Ну, у меня еще нет ничего такого.
Excuse me, father. Pardon? Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Святую воду сейчас ему подольем, и он будет корчиться потом от боли.
I noticed that the stained glass window on the left looks more modern than the middle one.
Сейчас будет триггер, видимо.
The original window was destroyed in the last war. It was as old as the church, early 14th century.
Oh man, that's awful.
Oui, a terrible loss. Still, the church and the other windows survived.
How long have you worked here?
Hardly work, monsieur. This is a calling. I have been helping Father Flambert for nearly 6 months now.
I guess you don't know much about the history of this church then.
Just a little.
You've got quite a shine on that candlestick.
Ah oui. Anything less than best would be an insult to the Almighty.
I guess so. I never thought of it like that. What do you know about the Knights Templar?
А тут же законченная история, правильно?
Many of them were executed in the square outside. It was a disgrace to France.
Well, the Pope was right behind it, though.
Clement V was a man of mammon, not of God.
That's kind of forthright for a priest, isn't it?
You think so? It is hard to be sure what happened. It is so long ago.
Do you speak Latin?
You ask this of a priest?
Понял.
Okay. Can you tell me what per disciplinum?
Просто ты сказал, что локации типа одни, а подумал, что типа, ну, продолжение прям продолжение.
By my teachings, you will see the light.
Я думаю, мучим. Ну, это на манускрипте нижняя левая была, я помню. А толку от этого?
Monsieur, you are a walking treasure house.
Catch you later.
В оригинале этих хлоп не было? Блин, а что в оригинале тогда было, если я прошел 50% игры, и типа оригинал он вообще что ли на 3 часа был? Ну что-то просто как-то странно тогда, если этого не было. Он короткий? Мне говорили, что он часов на 20, типа. Блин, он все равно не триггерится на... эту фигню.
A stone knife. I wondered if somehow I didn't carrying all that.
Ну ладно, давай поговорим еще раз.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Is the right-hand window original?
Oui, monsieur.
Do you speak Latin?
You ask this?
Okay.
Let me see.
Yeah. How about this?
It is very... I feel...
Интермузей, Ирландия. Кафе, отель-музей, Ирландия, замок. Ну да, чуть прям мало-мало.
Catch you later.
Au revoir.
Блин, ну, либо мне надо как-то его отвлечь.
Hi again.
Я не понимаю, почему он не хочет состыковывать, типа, мысль... того, что это на свитке написано, который у Ника в доме. Девочка, не, тут взаимодействие, типа, поговорить. Тут не настолько пиксель. Подожди. Не, здесь только одно это. Толпой взаимодействия. Сейчас посмотрим, может быть вообще надо другую локацию. Потому что эта же локация была открыта, мне в музее надо было что-то сделать. Музей Крунман, Фасон, кафе. Нет, полицейский участок. Полицейский участок. Нет. Рюжари.
Hello, George.
Let's take another look.
Ну, типа, вот оно. Посредством моего увлечения увидишь свет. И там что-то схожее было по мысли.
I'd better get back.
Ну, вообще... Может быть, Ну-ка. Можно? Нет. Цемент у меня еще зачем-то есть.
Hey, you with the balls. Oui? Look, a red nose.
Ah, you are a clown.
A clown?
No, if so, you would be a much better jongleur.
For a moment, an idea capered around near the spotlight of my attention, but fell down the pothole of obscurity before I could focus on it.
Что-то с носу связанное.
but fell down.
Угу.
Have you seen?
No. What do you... On an island?
What?
Угу.
Does this... A red nose? You are sure?
Well, I was distracted. Caper, caper, caper.
А. Или нет? Тут есть еще магазинчик, где мы расспрашивали про грим клоуна. Он хочет в него нарядиться, что ли? Монфасон. Только этого места нет, оно закрыто. Тогда нет, не работает. Стоп, поместье. Скач. Чего? А что я там забыл? Ну ладно, поехали в поместье. Что-то я эту мысль пропустил. Подожди, у меня же есть дневник. Леди Пермона знала. Ну и девушка. У нас теперь тренога. Что там можно с ними сотворить? А откуда они знали про Лабино сказал, что герб рыцаря... Да. Да. А, вот как оно открылось. Понятно. То есть, а если бы я треногу не посетил, я сюда мог бы прилететь, интересно?
I'm no student of architecture. I wondered if it would...
Так, ладно, давай поговорим. Сейчас такой бац, наступлю на него, и все, и воды нету. А то в одном квесте, типа, была собака на поводке, и там надо, чтобы она за тобой погналась, и типа вокруг столба обойти, именно прямо обойти. Там такой был уровень взаимодействия.
I didn't like the idea of carrying 30 yards of... Hi, is this the De Vasconcelos house?
Who wants to know?
I could tell the old coot was going to be trouble. My name's George Stobart. I was wondering whether...
The house is not open to the public.
This is the De Vasconcelos house.
And what business is that of yours, senor?
Look, all I want is to speak to the head of the household.
There is no household. Only the Countess and myself.
Tell me about the Countess de Vasconcelos.
She doesn't receive guests. That's all you need to know.
You don't even know what I have to talk to her about.
She hasn't won the lottery, has she?
Нет.
No, she hasn't won the lottery.
A more cunning man might have claimed that she had.
Oh yeah? They might have, might they?
And that more cunning man would have been kicked off the premises. The Countess doesn't do the lottery.
What do you know about the Templars?
Who wants to know?
Are you angling for a bribe or something?
You have nothing that I want, senor, except the pleasure of your absence.
The guy was obviously protecting the Countess against the whole world. But why?
А если я визитку покажу? А не, давай сначала фотографию.
No.
Нет.
This lab pass mean anything to you?
Not.
Would you like to shake hands?
I do not.
Да, блин. Че никто руку мне сжать не хочет? Я найду кого-то током шарахнуть. О.
Down below the estate, it was a beautiful sight.
Похоже на море из рукописи. Это, наверное, закрыто опять. Опа, знак тамплиеров.
From a distance, I thought it might be a summer house. Close up, I wasn't so sure. I wasn't about to go clambering on rooftops if I didn't have to. Rats.
Ну подожди, а меня, наверное, в дом не пустят. Надо что-то придумать. Надо пролезть в эту фигню, отключить ему шланг, и в это время проникнуть в дом, наверное. Или нет, не знаю. Может, пропустят.
Hey, you.
Да, нельзя.
You would not like it if people just wandered into your home, would you?
Well, no, I guess not.
А у них нет ограждения, интересно?
Okay. Sorry.
Короче, надо шланг ему перемкнуть. Вырубай.
I didn't like the idea of
Цемент подмешать в... И зачем мы для измерения давления использовали? А, все закончилось?
My hose has stopped.
Yeah?
See, my hose never stopped.
Well, I'm sorry to hear it. It's always sad when an old tradition comes to an end.
Did you have anything to do with it?
Well, I'm shocked. I'm mortified. How could you think such a thing?
Very easily, senor. Very easily. I'm going to find out why my hose has stopped. And that means going into the house. You are not, absolutely not, to go in the house. If you do go in the house, I will set the dogs on you.
Мы его будем шлангом душить?
The main part of the...
А что мне надо сделать? Или чтобы шланг снова заработал, а он такой: эй, я не понимаю, что происходит. Или все-таки войти в дом? Ах, вот как это работает, да?
The armor was about my size. I had a mental vision of putting it on and clanking off to see the Countess, with the gardener hanging hopelessly on the outside trying to stop me. Apart from being stupid and unworkable, it was a great plan.
Действительно, пофиг, что они лают. В смысле, подожди, здесь уже...
Come here.
Ой, меня позвал.
I know this doesn't look good, but I...
Look, senor, all I want is a quiet life. A life without mad, house-breaking foreigners in it. Understand?
Look, I just wanted to... use the bathroom.
Leave now, please.
Okay, I'm going.
А, это из-за того, что я собак спугнул, да? А теперь я могу подняться наверх. Нет.
Hey.
Oops. I know...
Look,
Угу. Спрятаться за рыцарским доспехом план был идеальный на самом-то деле, если так подумать. Или перевоплотиться в них, одеть. Но нашему персонажу это не понравилось. Что еще тут можно сделать? Может быть, у меня чего-то нету? Можно его оглушить, кстати. Нет, не хочет.
The armor was I had a with the apart from.
А где я еще могу предметы залутать? Костей у меня нету. Что собак сдобрить? В окно он лезть не может. От той двери ключ нужен. И вот я не могу ничего сделать. А если я сюда улечу, то...
I'm no student of architecture. I wondered if it was.
Что будет, если я эту локацию покину, затем снова вернусь?
Down the long, dusty drive, I knew because I'd arrived, and no way was I leaving until I'd got something
Пока
concrete to show Nick.
что-то можно показать Ника. То есть я могу что-то здесь сделать. Видимо, с тем арсеналом, что у меня есть. Что я могу сделать? Мне не нравится то, что шланг здесь выделяется на самом деле. Так. Блин, может его оглушить трубой? Хотя у нас вроде персонаж не столь радикален. Да. Что это за блею? Что это было? Так, что можно придумать? Ну там собаки. И типа в этот момент спрятаться за доспехом, а он пройдет за собаками.
Hey, you. I know you are there, American. All right, you dogs. I'm coming.
Понятно. А вот так он как будто его не заметит, да? Да он еще боком стоит. Вылезай давай.
Madre Dios, who are you?
My name's George Stobart. I'm sorry to burst in like this.
You must leave at once. You're not wanted here.
Please, if you just listen a minute.
Very well. State your business, Senor Stobart.
There's been a series of murders, part of some conspiracy. Anyway, the trail led me here.
Here? There is nothing for the outside world here.
Over 600 years ago there was.
What do you mean?
This whole thing ties in somehow with the Knights Templar.
The Knights Templar are dust.
They had a secret that was so important, they went to a lot of trouble to hide it.
I do not see what this has to do with my family.
Your family had a strong connection with the Templars, right? I believe that they have planted some clues here.
Why should I believe a complete stranger who barges into my home?
Just let me have a look around. If I find nothing...
You'll be spending the night at the police station. Very well. Please, sit down.
I know your family is involved with the Templars, but I don't know how.
You should be asking how my family were involved, Senor Stobart. The Templars ceased to exist centuries ago. And as for De Vasconcelos, the line dies with me.
I'm sorry.
Don't be.
Okay, whatever happened almost 700 years ago. So, if the Templars left any clues, They're going to be in stuff that dates back to the early 14th century.
Obviously.
So, what do you have around here that's early medieval?
Early medieval. Let me think. Well, the house is relatively modern, a scant 3 centuries old. Or, of course, the chess set.
That chess set is over 600 years old? It must be worth a fortune.
Indeed it is. Not that I would part with it, of course.
No, I wouldn't either. That's the sort of thing that gets handed down to your children. Sorry.
Its value is less than you might think. The set is not complete. One of the pieces is a modern replacement. As to the original, it was lost a long time ago.
Nobody has any idea where it is?
No. The children had it when they were taken.
Children? What children?
All in good time, Senor Stobart.
May I examine the chess set?
Certainly. But do not move any of the pieces.
Okay, thanks. Close up, the modern piece stood out like a sore thumb. There was something else odd about the set. All of the original pieces had irregular bases.
My lady, I have to warn you, there's a... You! Why, I'll feed you to the dogs.
Lopez, what have I told you about feeding intruders to the dogs?
But, my lady...
Never without my permission. Senor Stobart, if I find that you're wasting my time, you will be fed to the dogs. Now, I want to show you something interesting. Follow me.
Ну вот так вот просто. Возьмет и покажет. Ну как бы ладно.
Lopez, unlock the door, por favor. This is the only remaining structure on the estate contemporary with the Templars.
Nice. What is it, a summer house?
A mausoleum, Senor Stobart.
Oh.
Come with me.
Блин, стопор, это звучит как штопор.
Hey, senor.
Yeah?
I do not know what you have told my lady to be shown these favors, but I do not trust you.
You've got nothing to worry about. Aren't you coming in?
No, the dead do not interest me. My garden is a living thing. I will be there.
Wow, this is old.
It was constructed in the 13th century as the final resting place for the De Vasconcelos Templars.
It's well maintained.
These are my ancestors, and they deserve respect. I come here at least once a week to say a prayer for them.
Mind if I have a look around?
By all means.
The mausoleum contained five of the night man-size in marble. Hanging from the ceiling, it looked really old and had... I couldn't climb up there without...
Ну, очевидно, что окно надо закрыть.
There was nothing to... Feeling like an idiot.
А в смысле поставил на меня? Палкой закрыть окно. Дурак, что ли? Ну ладно, дурак, видимо.
A big statuette of the Virgin Mary kept an eye on the place. On removing the Bible, I found a pattern on the lectern top. Hey! It's a checkerboard! Close up, I could see that the pattern was made up of glass squares over a checkerboard pattern. It was too... Close up, I could see that the pattern was made up over a checker... It was too... Now what? Feeling... I couldn't... Hanging from the... It looked really...
Вы расспросить про шахматы, тащи сюда фигуры?
You may ask.
Who exactly are these people?
My ancestors. These 5 men were all members of the Templars.
5 ancestors in the order. You must be very proud.
Not 5. 6.
Where's the 6th knight?
He was lost to us.
You lost an ancestor?
It is a family matter. It can have no relevance.
Well, it's connected with the curse of the Vasconcelos, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I hope you will honor my desire not to talk about it.
Okay, well, I'll leave it for now. Is the Virgin Mary really the right person to be sharing a mausoleum with 5 knights?
You are showing your ignorance, Senor Stobart. The Templars were dedicated to the Virgin Mary.
What's the story with the glass chessboard?
Glass chessboard. Oh, the pattern on the lectern. Purely decorative, I'm sure.
There are pieces of glass missing from it.
Oh, it has been like that since I was a girl.
The gaps in the glass chessboard look awfully deliberate.
No, it is ridiculous. What possible significance can it have?
It's part of a chessboard, and the gaps are for...
Senor Stobart. You cannot mean...
This place was built for the Templars. Your chess set is as old as the Templars. It's kind of suggestive, isn't it? I think this must be it. This is what the manuscript is pointing to.
This is extraordinary.
Странно, что она сама до этого не догадалась. Живя столько лет.
Am I to understand that the Templars left a puzzle here? And in all of this time we failed to realize that there was a puzzle?
It was wonderful to watch the Countess change before my eyes.
Right. Well, no time for wallowing in self-pity, eh, Senor Stobart? This mystery has had a good long run, but it ain't here, and now.
All those years of fatalism were falling away from her.
Lopez! Lopez! Put that hose down and listen! Go to the house and get my chess set. Yes, the old chess set! Now hurry! My, this is exciting, is it not?
Don't get too excited. This could be a blind alley.
Oh, I do not believe that for a moment.
It's good to see you happy.
Happy? You know, I think I am.
While we're waiting, I'd really like to know what happened here. I mean, the curse and everything?
It all began at the time of the dissolution of the Templars. Don Carlos had already left their ranks to become a scholar.
Don Carlos, is he the guy who went missing?
Si, but he had reckoned without the local bishop. Their bishop envied us our land and determined to use the papal edict as an excuse to destroy us. Don Carlos was on one of his scholarly journeys when the Inquisition arrived. When Don Carlos returned, it was to find his loyal manservant slain and his children gone.
They took the kids? But why?
Oh, we will never know. The bishop denied all knowledge of the children's disappearance. But witnesses had seen his men kill the servant who had been charged to protect them.
What happened to Don Carlos?
He swore he'd find his children if he had to go to the edge of the world. He put on his armor and took up his sword and shield and rode out alone. He was never seen again. Ah, Lopez, you have the pieces.
Si, my lady, as you asked.
Por favor, Senor Stobart, would you be so kind?
My lady.
Calm yourself, Lopez. I believe Senor Stobart's motives are pure.
Very well, my lady. My lady seems to trust you.
But you don't.
No, senor.
Блин, я не помню, как шахматные фигуры ставятся.
It fits, Senor Stobart.
А,
It fits.
Working quickly, I found
облегчили
went
все.
into which holes.
А, нет. Посмотрите, также можно посмотреть. Каждую фигуру на самоответ соответствующую узором. Мысли. Нет. Подожди-ка, я думал, оно вот так вот. Подожди, тут какая-то доска даже кривая. Тут еще одна должна быть вот такая вот фиговина. Тут не то, они тут намутили. Ну ладно. Стоп, или ее надо переносить было? А почему тут нажатие? Как это работает? А, у каждого цвет есть. Белый, зеленый, красный. Белый. Белый, синий. Белый, синий, зеленый, красный. Понятно. Красно-белый, зеленый, синий. Красно-белый, зеленый, синий. Красно. Белый, зеленый, синий. Дайте перенести мне. Да не переворачивай. Синий, красный. Синий, красный. Вот он. Так, это что такое? Зелено-белый, зелено-белый. Синий-красный, да. Зелено-белый, белый. Синий-белый, красный. Одна лишняя, что ли, будет? А, не, все три. Нормально. Красно. Красный, зеленый. Легчайшее. Да ну пощади ты.
With the red pieces in place, the square bases fit onto the white pieces. I just had to figure out where to place them.
А теперь сложно. Это что еще такая за позиция непонятная? А, ты должен в это углубление поставить. В центре. Типа на пересечении, что ли? Стоп, а конь тогда буквы Г или буквы Г? Вот так вот. Или я должен расставить так, что их не съели? Королева, она, по-моему, во все стороны ходит. Все вот тут не тронут. Или как это определяется? Или надо шах и мат поставить? Но здесь доска левая. Не понимаю. Или тут надо симметру найти. Что вообще? Какая в этом логика? Так-то это можно перебором решить. Да, я могу их ставить только по центру. Что это может значить? Тут, по-моему, вообще нет безопасных клеток, кроме одной. Это центральный. Что тоже сделать? Ну, может, надо как-то доску перевернуть и понять. Что-то фигня какая-то. Давай, Аникс, жги. А то опять потом будешь ругаться, что в метро эти 4 часа бродил. Так. Что они пытались этим доказать? Ну так вот конь ест коня. Ест пешку. Ест от ладью или как ее зовут. Предположим, конь на месте. Нету в помощь? Да не, я либо перебором решу, либо я пойму логику. Типа, я могу перемещать их только по центральной линии. Типа, в чем подвох? Какой в этом скрытый смысл? Может, надо какой-нибудь крест образовать? Тамплиера. Что, я не знаю. Или есть какая-то комбинация в шахматах, связанная с крестоносцами. Ну, здесь сюда коня ставить, он тут не ест, тут не ест. Типа, есть предположение, что она поставит так, что он всегда будет есть фигуру. Если коня так поставить, то ест и ест. Если сюда сместить, не ест уже. Сюда сместить, ест, не ест. Ниже сместить. Фигня. Так, фигня. Но предположим, он должен быть наверху. Либо клеткой ниже, на самом-то деле. Так, так не ест. Так ест, так ест, так ест. Чё-то фигня какая-то.
Bingo. I mean, checkmate.
Чё? Я случайно.
Look. What is that? It's not. It's not.
Я хотел коня наверх переместить. Это же странная загадка какая-то.
Communion chalice of the Day Vasconcelos. Missing for almost 700 years.
Wow. Well, go on.
I cannot. I can hardly believe it is real.
Go ahead. Live a little.
Are you sure? This is your moment of triumph, Senor Stobart.
Sure, I'm sure. The possibility of death traps only occurred to me a few days later.
So the curse of the De Vasconcelos is lifted?
Oh no. The Countess was thrilled to find the lost chalice. But there's still the riddle of the missing knight.
Well, you can forget about that now and get back to finding the Templars' secret.
Actually, I promised the Countess I'd find Don Carlos.
You what?
I can explain everything.
You have got the odds for a withered old Spanish aristocrat?
The Countess entrusted me with the chalice and the quest for her ancestor's tomb.
You're as crazy as she is. Haven't you got enough problems? Khan and the Templars?
It's all part of the same thing. The chalice is important, I'm sure. The manuscript pointed us to the knight, and I have to find him.
What then?
I don't know. But when the knight and the chalice are reunited, maybe I will.
Кубок. У меня есть теперь кубок.
This is the chalice.
I still can't figure out, after losing it for all those years, she's one pawn.
The Countess is a fine lady.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Are you serious? I'd better get back to...
Ну, предположим. Аэропорт. Понятно. Ну, вероятно, надо кубок показать эксперту музейному. Поехали.
Hi, Andre.
Hello.
Блин, я не понимаю, что с клоуном. В чем прикол красного носа?
Spanish, probably.
Понятно. Красный нос. На старика напялить? Блин, так не говори, что да. А нет. Так вы клоун?
No. Although you juggle like one. Now, if I'd known you were a clown, it would have been amusing. And not a humiliation for you.
What do you mean?
Who ever heard of a plain-clothes clown?
He had a point. So you're saying that if I juggle badly with a red nose, I'd be the king of comedy. But if I juggle badly without it...
You look like a pathetic loon. Oui, monsieur. You have it.
Я понял.
Shouldn't you be off direct? Yeah? I'll see you...
Ну, типа, жонглировать с красным носом мы должны. Так, подожди.
Oui? I'd
А,
like
он
to give
мне...
it a try at juggling, please.
Да, вот.
Gone on a crash course, perhaps?
No, I just had an insight into presentation.
Huh?
Allow me to demonstrate. The balls, please.
If you insist on completing your humiliation, monsieur.
Он с красным носом, теперь он это...
My secret weapon.
Ага-ха-ха-ха.
The juggler was speechless with rage. You could have mistaken him for a mime. And without a word, he collected his balls and left in a fury. Hey! You
Бедняжка.
forgot one of your balls. Hey! But
Взяли и унизили.
better still, deprived of his entertainment, the gendarme decided maybe he ought to do some policing for a change.
О, все, пора вандалить. Так, окей. Моторная лодка. А нет, это обычная
If
лодка.
I wanted to get deeper into these if the near edge hadn't
Ну что ты сделал? И зачем?
The
Ладно.
book lay in a bed of chain.
Крюк. Я должен
The
стену
wall was
снести.
slate, and anything once written on it had long since gone.
Видимо, да. Но самая правая должна быть.
But I made out Templier and something about innocence.
А если судить по витражу.
My medieval French isn't much, but the few words I understood seemed to say
Или это не тут.
this is where the gallows used to stand. Maybe.
Ого.
I pushed against the door.
Наверное, была заперта. Мгм. Мгм. Может быть, он что-нибудь не расскажет?
Hello again, Father.
Bonjour, monsieur. How pleasant to speak to you again.
I noticed that the stained glass window...
You have a keen eye. It was as...
Oh.
Oui.
Catch you later.
Oh.
Стоп, а зачем мне красный шарик?
It was the bright red ball.
Его насадить на крюк?
A scholar...
Так зачем? А типа внизу смотрите. Ладно, предположим, это я понял. Предположим, это не какой-то триггер. Так.
If I wanted to get deeper into these catacombs, if the near edge hadn't...
А, может быть, камень надо вставить? Наверное, нет. А, граль, цемент, куб. А, ну шарик можно вставить, типа. Нет. А на что она вообще закрыта? Я думаю, руку засунуть, чтобы нам ее откусили. Типа шарик можно подложить. Класс. И чё? И чё? Заперто, и что? Надо повеситься, что ли? Что это за звуки посторонние?
My medieval... Maybe.
Ну, короче, прикол, я взаимодействовать не могу. Значит, что надо опустить. Ну, предположим.
The hook lay in a bed of chain.
Крюк лежал на кольцах цепи.
The hook...
Крюк лежал на кольцах цепи. Крюк лежал на кольцах цепи. В чем же подвох? Единственное, что можно насадить на круг, это чертов шарик.
The hook... The wall had flaked. The wall seemed... The inscription was... I wonder... It was time for some brutal destruction.
Норм, окей.
Hey, that's hollow! I'd poked a hole in an historical site. If any archaeologists came by, they'd lynch me for this. There was some sort of mechanism hidden inside the wall, with a lever in the middle of it. Here goes. The secret door had jammed. I couldn't get through that gap.
Нормас. Разрушение. Ого.
Boy, had I ever made a mess of that door.
Блин, эта штука до сих пор у нас осталась, если у нас еще зачем-то пригодится. Понятно, бывает.
In the beginning was the end. An end wrought by our enemies began our darkness. In the end will be a beginning. An end to our enemies heralds our new day.
Report. The military establishments are in flux. The end of the Cold War has left them with no clear goal and as obvious targets for budgetary cuts. We have successfully promoted a sense of betrayal in the upper echelons. They feel that the politicians have cast them adrift. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Good. Mademoiselle?
Governments are giving the corporations
Чё
more
ж они
space
так
on their own
орут?
citizens. A groundswell of dissatisfaction and dissidence is growing. The corporations are becoming too large and complex for their own executives to control them. A blind belief in market forces is accelerating this trend the world over. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
The global population's belief in those that govern it has never been lower. We have inculcated a sense of immediacy and action over forethought and planning in all the major governments. They are acting on hasty decisions that cannot be completed or revoked without appearing foolish. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Excellent. The tired old governments are dying a slow death from their own incompetence and our machinations. Professor, where is the broken sword?
As we discussed last time, with the loss of the manuscript, our search is as a corollary hindered.
And as discussed last time, you have been furnished with a dramatically increased budget. What have you been doing with our money, Professor?
We are working on the principle that the Templars, that is to say our predecessors,
Hold on. These are the Templars?
must have left a trail when they were hiding the clues to the sword of Baphomet's location. I have a small army of historians and archaeologists ferreting out that trail.
I trust these historians and archaeologists are more trustworthy than your friend Pegram.
Pegram was loyal. He tried to protect the Lochmarn gem when the Hashashin came near.
And failed. And don't call that Syrian maniac the Hashashin. He's an assassin. Plain and simple.
That's not what he believes. He actually thinks.
Silence! Do I have to remind you that we have a sacred duty? A trust? When Philippe attempted to destroy the Order, we lost the sword and our power with it. Now we have the opportunity to reforge it. But time is short. We need results, not petty bickering, not excuses. Now, Professor Baphomet.
Yes, of course. My apologies. We will find Baphomet and the sword, manuscript or no. We have already found another element actually within Paris.
Excellent. What is it?
Well, we're not exactly sure at present.
Ha!
But I have my best people working on it. You would do well not to criticize others, Eklund. At least I have not murdered one of our own.
Of course. That guy was the bogus doctor in the hospital.
Marquet was a liability. Eklund dealt with him on my orders.
I beg your pardon, Grandmaster. I did not mean to.
Have you any good news for us, Professor?
We already know 3 of the elements. We know that Klausner had obtained the lens before he vanished.
Where was he?
Syria. We know that he arrived, but after that, nothing.
The assassin.
I fear so. It's a shame. Klausner was a good operative.
This will be our last meeting in person until we locate the sword of Baphomet. I hope that I don't need to emphasize the importance of finding it. Without it, our endeavors come to nothing. With the sword reforged, we will have the power to sweep the stage of all opposition the next time that we meet. It will be to become the princess of this world!
Wow!
И в лодке укатили. А на кой черт тогда это сделан проход секретный типа? Ну ладно.
In the middle of the circle, a shaft of...
Ну понятно, треногу.
The tripod's feet fitted neatly into the notches on the top of the stump.
Камень.
The light falling from above struck the gem and scattered in 5 neat rays. And each ray picked out a letter. Starting from the left, I could read M-A-R-I-B. Marib. Now all I had to do was figure out what the heck that meant. Nico, I've seen them.
Who?
The Templars. I spied on their meeting in the catacombs.
And you saw the Knights Templar?
I saw a bunch of guys masquerading as Templars. They're after something called the Sword of Baphomet. The bogus doctor was there, the guy who killed Marquet. The manuscript is the key, just as we thought. It shows the way to the broken sword, whatever that is.
And how does the assassin fit into all this?
He's out to stop them. These Neo-Templars, they're men and women in influential positions. Don't you see? Plantar was one of them. The assassin killed him for the manuscript, to stop them finding the sword.
But now we have got the manuscript.
Yes.
So, how do they hope to find the sword?
I don't know. They said something about a lens and a guy called Klausner who's gone to Syria. But they didn't seem to realize the significance of the very site of their meeting. You see, after they'd gone, I discovered a stone pedestal and a carved inscription. I set up the gem on the tripod, directly below a beam of light. The gem split the beam and lit the letters M-A-R-I-B.
Marib is a village in Syria.
Then the Neo-Templars are ahead of us. Klausner beat me to it.
You're not thinking of going there yourself, are you?
Why not?
These guys are crazy and dangerous. That reminds me, you should leave the gem here.
Okay. What about the tripod?
I'll send it back to Andre, anonymously.
Угу.
Do you think I should go to Mar...
Syria is a long...
Сирию, понятно. Ну-ка, я могу здесь? Не могу. Ну, давай-ка я зайду в локацию. Ну, Индиана Джонс ведь. Что вот это значит? Каждый раз я смываю с себя грусть. А как это открывать? Для работы помогает, потому что журналисты редко сидят без дела. Поражение Брокенсфор, расширенное издание. Комикс приквел. Понятно. Ну, насколько мы там прошли уже? 66%. Ну, нормально. Ладно. Пойду я спать, в общем. Ну, всем удачи. Спокойной ночи. Завтра, думаю, Брокенсворд пройдем и, может, чем-нибудь еще начнем. Но это не точно. Так что да. Всем удачи, всем спокойной ночи.